still don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within. Mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
wrong button. Hello everybody, welcome. My name's TJ. It's a pleasure to have you here. It is going to be some Modern today, and we are getting ready for round 2 of 5 because I, in my brilliance, is that the word? Hold on. No, it's not. Sat down. My apartment was so nice and warm that I sat down for a moment and then woke up, and it was 6. The stream said Legacy. It shouldn't say Legacy. It should say Modern right now. But that's okay. We'll make it work, and if it didn't then, it does now. Miyakoto, hello. Now this seems like a wonderful opportunity to say A. I apologize for that, everybody. But better late than never, so they say. And B, if you are willing to let me make it up for you, be sure to tune in tomorrow at noon Pacific time. Why, you may say? Because I will be here for the first ever, first of many, well, first of theoretically many, Modern 1K Geek Fortress Modern Tournament. Wow, I just said 2 of those words twice, but that is okay, because I'm excited about it, you should be excited about it, and we are going to be having these players come on in, ready to throw down for pride, victory, and of course, a chance at some of that 1K worth of loot to be won. JH Portnoy, hello, hello. I'm excited about that. I'm really hoping it's going to be great. You'll get your own Modern event on Sunday. That is okay, Tevin. Because on the bright side, we do record them, and you can just go ahead and check it out on the VOD later. I'll be having fun, hippin', hoppin', having it happen in time. It's going to be great and exciting, and it's going to be more opportunities to stream, since that one will likely be about 7 or so hours tomorrow. Maybe a little bit longer. I believe there will be a cut to top 8 that we'll be going through as well, which is especially exciting to me. And I believe round 2 is coming on up.
Yes, it is. You've got Jared facing the wall.
Okay.
And you've got Bob on the other side.
I like it.
Jared is on blue-white control.
Okay.
And Bob is on Merfolk.
Actually, that sounds interesting.
Also, I saw this earlier. I'm not sure if it's in the main deck or not, but Bob is playing Glimmer of Genius. Interesting.
Wait, do you mean Bob is? The Merfolk player?
No. The blue-white control player is playing Glimmer of
Wait,
Genius.
that's Jared.
That's what I meant to say.
Ah.
Looks
I
like
know
I'm not
these-
the only one who's tired.
Hold on. What?
Because I was mixed. Whatever.
Thank you so much, Glorious Lumi. It is a pleasure to have you here. You are amazing and awesome, and I am ready for round 2. Blue-white control versus Merfolk. Blue-white control sustaining a lot, or containing a lot of spot removal as well as some sweepers. Now that sounds fantastic, but up against a deck that capitalizes on decks that are running islands, Merfolk, this could be interesting. So I'm excited about this one, but I think my edge is going to go towards blue-white control depending on the amount of removal. But let's head on down and find out for ourselves. I will see you there. Alright, and these players are lining up on the field. Bob versus Jared. And oh, it's Glorious Visionary's new channel. Glorious Visionary, thank you so very much, but I actually mean Glorious Lumi. I should probably get used to calling that. Do you prefer Glorious Lumi or Glorious Lumi? I'm able to work with all kinds of stuff. Looks like we do have a Master of Waves in hand. I think I may have seen a Lord of Atlantis. Something like a Curse Catcher could have a lot of benefit on this one, but that is 2 Master of Waves, which sounds phenomenal against most other archetypes. Against this one, it might be a little bit tricky. Presenting the cut after keeping a hand. I like the style from Bob. I dig it. And we have got a 7 from Jared, a 7 from Bob, and it's going to be a rematch! Oh, it's an 8 from Bob, really stepping up his game, which is followed up by an explosive 11 from Jared, who is going to get to take the play. My goodness, we've got Detention Sphere Gideon. Now, Gideon's going to be great. A Supreme Verdict in hand. Wow. That hand's stacked. Okay. Any Death Shadow out there? There is some Death Shadow out there, Frosty. So an Island from Bob, no turn 1 play, no Ether Vial, which is really kind of the big wanted play, especially against a deck like this. An Ether Vial could have a huge benefit, but it looks like Jared is actually going to go with a Fetch Shock on turn 2. Putting that Hallowed Fountain into play. If this is tapped, then this is curious. How did I end up? I didn't play in it, but I had such a fun time. It was great. I didn't compete in any of them. I did decently in like the one side event that I did, and otherwise all I was doing was trying to hang out with people, have some fun, relax. It was great. How did I end up there by playing? Yeah, it was by playing too. Ooh, now a Spell Pierce in hand actually speaks pretty well. Looks like a Master of the Pearl Trident coming down. It's a 2/2 that gives other merfolk you control +1/+1 and Island Walk. Jared dropping in that Hallowed Fountain last turn does mean that that exists, but a Detention Sphere coming down to take it out. So Bob not going to be having a main deck way to deal with that most likely. Could be seeing a let's see, Lord of Atlantis and an Ether Vial could be the play this turn. Decently. TJ seems like a hitchhiker. Huh. I'll take that as a compliment. I just seem like someone who would get along with people. I'll take that as kind of what you mean. Also, thank you everybody. The fact that there's a bunch of you here and I started late, thank you. I do truly appreciate that. Snapcaster Mage coming on down, and we're going for another Serum Visions. Jared really building up some of this time, taking all that he needs to for this and trying to conserve a little bit of these resources. Having that Detention Sphere in hand means that Jared is just going to be trying to take little chip shots away at Bob's plan. But once Bob really has that explosive go, because if Jared's able to continually disrupt the small efforts that Bob has of building this board up, then what he can do is eventually have to develop himself onto this board, and then using that Supreme Verdict to wipe away all that progress. For instance, he cannot attack with his Lord of Atlantis until another Lord comes down. He's got 2 Devotion on the battlefield for a Lord of Atlantis, or a Master of Waves, but we could try it. Let's see. You lost some money here? Oh, in gambling? I came out a little bit ahead actually in gambling. Which I was quite surprised about. Went well. So, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So you're $50 from building slivers? It depends on how much you value $50. So, we're taking that hit. We are now at 17 because I never updated it back up to the 19 from the land entering tapped, but we've got a 4th lane coming down. Supreme Verdict now online. Might want to wait a little bit on it, but attacking into this Harbinger seems really bold unless you're 100% intended to cast this Supreme Verdict, and I think that's going to be the case. I think that also explains why Jared maybe didn't block that Lord of Atlantis, even though it actually did not have Island Walk. So let's bring up Lord of Atlantis, and I have a feeling that this is an interaction that did not get caught from the players on the field, but it actually says other merfolk you get +1/+1 in Island Walk. Now, that does not mean itself. So they did get the 2 life there, but the no block is curious to me. But the Supreme Verdict is coming down. Whereas, Lumi, that is a very good rule. However, I highly recommend, if you have the means, to go beyond winning that much. I love your thought on not losing more than that, but I very much recommend that you win more if you have the opportunity. DJ Drox, but they only got the 2 damage, which is what... So that interaction was caught. The damage was correct. So I think there might have just been a bit of confusion, because that, if it had dealt the 3 damage, then that might be more of an explanation to me. But we did lose that progress. The Mutavault is coming up. And let's see this one come in on a hit for 2. That seems to be the case. Attacks with the Mutavault. So, could just be kicking it back. Remember that we do have this Aether Vial on 2. If Bob did draw into something that could give him some play there. But otherwise, that Master of Waves is kind of the last play. Jared does have another Supreme Verdict in hand, however. So this Mutavault is really going to be Bob's path to victory. We've got a Detention Sphere coming in, probably going to be targeting the Aether Vial. And it looks like Bob did not have any 2 mana cards to put into play. The eventual game plan might have been just to have 4 counters on that, and then drop it down. But Bob also notably does have that Spell Pierce, so maybe waiting for a 5th land to be able to protect this. Does have 4 Master of Waves in hand, but I think what we're gonna see, yep, is a Master of the Pearl Trident. Now we are gonna activate this, but it's likely gonna get hit by this Ghost Quarter. No activation, did not have a 2 mana spell. I think just drew the Master of the Pearl Trident. So without a 2 mana play, I think Bob currently has 3 Master of Waves in hand, which is pretty good for flooding the board, but the Devotion is fairly low right now. And it looks like Jared willing to just take the 3, not firing off this Ghost Quarter. Now, not firing off the Ghost Quarter on that Mutavault is surprising to me. Could just be waiting to try and take it out through a different means, but I'm not certain on that. But I think right now what Bob is looking for is another Spell Pierce. The problem is that that actually won't benefit against the Supreme Verdict. But I think Bob's game plan is to put down another Island or a Mutavault, it doesn't really matter, drop in the Master of Waves, and then be able to hold up the mana for the Spell Pierce. Jared, on the other hand, just needs to continually work on stabilizing. He does have a Spreading Seas that he could throw onto this Mutavault to disable it. That is correct. They just got Bach. Unexpected, but pretty good. Unexpected, but a pretty good nap. Vapor Snag. That actually could be a really cool tool for Bob, actually, to respond to the Supreme Verdict if he decides to do that. So if he... Okay, so he won't have the extra mana right now, so the Supreme Verdict is likely going to take down this one. And it looks like a Cryptic Command is going to counter this and draw a card, most likely. It does seem to be the most popular mode on that card. So Jared restocking a little bit, doesn't want that to resolve. It is going to make the... Because having 3 of these for Bob is going to be pretty key to her. If Jared spends too much time, you know, dealing with the first 2, then the 3rd one might be able to take over the game. What's up, Mostly Lost? Hello, hello, it's good to see you. More land coming down from Jared. A Spreading Seas coming in, taking out the Mutavault. So that little bit of resiliency is gone. Now that is actually pretty excellent, because that was the biggest insurance through a Supreme Verdict. And a Gideon coming down, which I fully expected to minus. That is the case. We're going to see Gideon go for a -2 to take down. And now we have got a live Gideon Jura with a Supreme Verdict in hand. This game is circle in the drain for Bob. Because it's fish. Does Lord of Atlantis buff your opponent's merfolk? Yes, actually. Yes, it does. I'm proud of Kappa. So a Curse Catcher coming down. It might be followed up by... There's not many others. So going for this one, a little bit curious, actually. Probably just waiting to hold up the Spell Pierce. But another Celestial Colonnade coming in. We're just going to plus up the Gideon and kick the turn back. And now this Curse Catcher is going to have to attack for 1 damage into this. Drawing into another Vapor Snag. Not quite where you want to be. but we could just be dropping in the Master of Waves to get a couple of these. But if Jared has any interaction in hand, that Supreme Verdict looks pretty good, and I think that might be another Cryptic Command. But at this point in the game, it might be in Jared's interest to actually just let it resolve, let Gideon take the hit for 1, and then drop in a Supreme Verdict to wipe that board right after it's done. And it looks like that is the decision that they're making. So the Gideon may fall down to 5. Is this really round 2? Yes, it is. Fun fact, it's gloriously warm in Washington today. And I was... I sat down on my couch at 3, thinking, boy, it's kind of nice and warm in here. So I sat on my couch, and then it was 6, or it was then it was 6:20. It just oh, well then. So that's my bad. I do truly apologize for that one. I feel pretty bad about that, but it happens, and I guess we're here now. What happened to the Spreading Seas? I believe it's underneath the Mutavault. Alright, the Token Binder bringing in some of those sweet elementals. A lot of damage on board. And we are going to hit the Gideon down to 5. Now Jared untapping. Supreme Verdict looming on the horizon. Another Celestial Colonnade. Is that all 4? That is the final Celestial Colonnade. We're going to sweep this board with a Supreme Verdict. The Gideon stays alive. Now let's see. What I really want to see from Jared here is actually an activation of the Gideon to create that 6/6 human soldier and bash in, because that is a hit for 3, and that is what we're doing. We're going to fall to 12. Now the one thing that Jared needs to be cautious of is that if Bob keeps up Vapor Snake mana, he can actually get rid of this Gideon Jura, which might not matter a ton, but any amount of time that you can buy can be huge. But with only, wow, more of these lands, could drop in a Master of Waves. Checking the card there to see if the Vapor Snake will be effective, but it looks like we might just have to drop in a Master of Waves and hold up a Vapor Snake, or that. Do we have the Cryptic in hand? Yes. Hitting the Cryptic with that last 4 mana, counter, draw, refilling that hand. Bob with a blue mana open because of this Vapor Snake. I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't Spell Pierce that, actually. They're all islands, so Bob just adjusts that so it's a little bit more clear. But the Spell Pierce, I think that might have been the time to fire it off. Not entirely sure what Bob's saving it for. But we're getting more mana played out to bring in the Celestial Colonnade. We're going to activate that. It's an interesting choice to attack like this, but it does play through that pretty well. And McStang 1986 with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so very much for your support, and thank you for being incredible. A Vapor Snake takes down Gideon. We are still going to take 4, falling down to 8, but truly, thank you for what you do and the support, and for subscribing to this channel. You are amazing. You are great. Thank you for making what I do awesome. Being a part of that is pretty great. The Gideon comes on down using the Celestial Colonnade that attacked because of its vigilance, as well as the remaining 4 mana. Shields are down this turn for Jared. I'm not sure if Bob has the ability to capitalize on it. That's Lord of Atlantis, but with just a Spell Pierce and a Vapor Snake, it's so hard to hit that critical mass. That Gideon can either plus all day, or at this point, another land? No, still 2 lands away from being able to double activate those Colonnades, but even still, Jared could just plus up this Gideon and get to attacking for 5. And it looks like the Vapor Snake, catching up on the life total change from the previous Vapor Snake. We are at 9, not 10. And thank you, McStang. Ooh. And it is going to be a Path to Exile on this. Now Bob does have the opportunity. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna let it go. We're gonna grab a basic land that is technically exiled, not in the graveyard, but I don't think it's actually relevant in this matchup, especially from a deck like Merfolk. So we won't worry about it too much because this game is almost over. We are taking the land, still holding on to that spell pier, that Vapor Snag. Could use that to take down the Gideon once again, and actually won't be able to recast it this turn. The only problem with that is that there is the Colonnade, and Bob really needs to answer the fact that there's a Colonnade which just put him down to 4. Oh, or we're going to crack a land. We have the... You're going to go to bed. Have a good night, Tevin. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for being as great as you are. Your moderatorship is always phenomenal and excellent and appreciated. Have a good one. Am I hitting up any other GPs this year? Yes. I intend to be at GP Oklahoma City and GP Portland. The other Gideon coming down, and we're going to Spell Pierce this one from Bob, who's now empty-handed, but at least cleaned that up. The only problem is that Bob has got 4 Celestial Colonnades to deal. 1 Spreading Seas won't do it. Even Spreading Seas into Spreading Seas into Spreading Seas will not do it. Which is pretty incredible, actually. An island comes down, and that is going to be the win for Jared as long as he activates that Colonnade. That is the case. Game 1 goes to Jared on blue-white control, and we are going to be getting ready, getting set, and going to Game 2. Gotta click that Spell Pierce, or the Spreading Seas, I mean, and all things now back to even, and these players are going to be heading to the sideboard looking for some answers. Okay. That was fun. I like doing this. Am I playing in the main event or hitting side events? I expect to do the main event, but honestly, part of the problem with Vegas is that for all that I loved about it, I didn't really feel like paying $90 to play in a main event when I don't get to practice that often. I do expect to be in the main events of those 2 events, however. And I maybe should have been in the main event for Vegas, but I don't know. Ooh, I think Jared is bringing in some Stony Silence, actually, as a way to try and answer these Aether Vials, which is a pretty nice decision that could pay off really well, just because of how well the Aether Vial is able to nullify the counterspells that Jared has. So that could end up paying off pretty nicely. What else might we have? You'll be in the main event for GP Syracuse? Very nice. That sounds awesome. Do that. What are you playing? Do you know? But yeah, I expect to be in them. But I'm not 100% sure. It's August 5th? Okay. I don't know. Dio Von Carmel, you'll have to come tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon, we have got a Modern 1K firing off from Geek Fortress. Doubling up that way is not a bad way to do it. Just tossing that out there. Putting it forth into the wind, into the spirits, whatever it is that you want to say. I'm not entirely certain. Wonderful! If you haven't registered, I highly recommend that you do. That event has been filling up some spots. So, Dispels coming in from Bob, I expect could be some Relic of Progenitus because of the Snapcasters. Very nice, Giovanni Karma. If you also want to either take a look at that, or you can take a look at the website in general, be sure to check out GeekFortressGames.com, where you can pre-register for the Modern 1K if you have the means. Otherwise, you can buy any of the singles and supplies that you may need and that they have available. You can also check out a little bit of reading that we are starting to develop more, including checking out the little ad that we have for a playmat contest that we have, where you, the viewer, can help design the Geek Fortress playmat. We are going to be replacing this one. It is coming down the pipeline, and it is coming soon. We're going to be developing both a one for this stream, as well as a one-person playmat that we will be able to sell through the website. If you would like to be involved, if you've got some ideas, feel free to check that out and take a look. I'm pretty excited about it. I am really hippity hyped to see a new playmat in action. The format for Oklahoma City will be modern. But you like this playmat? It's probably time for a new one, though. This playmat has done many wonderful things to us, or for us, I suppose. This playmat has been fantastic for so long, but I'm quite excited to keep on moving towards that next big thing. And one thing that I do always want to do with this stream is improve and move forward and continue to try exciting new things. And unfortunately, when you get to that point, you got to be willing to change anything. And I think that playmat is kind of a next step. I hope that works. Nailed it! Man, that was a good guess. Good guess, TJ. So game 2 coming on up. I do think that we are going to be seeing some negates, dispels, extra spell pierces. The big issue is that none of these are phenomenal against the Supreme Verdict. But we shall see. I have seen some of the submissions for the playmat contest. It's very exciting to me, and some of them are looking really excellent. There are a lot of cool ideas in the community. So if you have some of your own, definitely feel free to toss them in. What's up, Alexis? Looking for some Scred. I'm not sure if we have it in the field, but I wouldn't be surprised. We've had a couple of Scred players around lately. A couple of islands. We do have some fuel for Bob. That could be a good hand. Ether Vial with a Spell Pierce with what card is that? I'm spacing on what card that is that Bob has in hand. That one, the third one. Oh no, you know what? This is 7 Seas. Okay, that's Seas Claim. Got it. My bad. Okay. Or is it Seas Claim? It's one of the ones. It's not Aquatex, Will, so I think it is Seas Claim. Which, this won't be the same art, but also, this card has some great flavor text. Who's the crazy one now? Said the mountaintop boat maker. Oh, old school flavor text. What's up, Murph? How you doing? How are you? You are awesome. Thanks for swinging by. Member of the Rogues Gallery there in chat. A Murph CS. General cool guy. Ether Vial coming down. Jared cracking a fetch. We're looking to go down to 17 for a Hallowed Fountain. Not too worried about our life total, or we are just looking to make sure that it's got some good things going on. I know, Murph, you've been working on this deck for a little bit. So, a Hallowed Fountain coming on down. Could be a Serum Visions to kick things off. Yep, that is the way that we're going to start it. It's a generally good turn 1 play for a control deck, being able, especially, I actually like this card more on the draw or in games 2 and 3 than I do on the play, in a weird sort of way, because the card is fantastic at setting up the next turn because it is draw then scry. Sometimes, and certainly I'm not advocating that you should choose to be on the draw, but sometimes having that turn 1 play in response to knowing what your opponent is on can be phenomenal, because at least in my experience playing Burn, it's been interesting how often someone goes turn 1 Serum Visions, and then when you drop in Inspiring Vantage and then Goblin Guide them, you will see a card that they kept on top that really, I would assume that they would not have done so had they known that I was playing that deck. But in game 2 it's also less likely to be relevant, and it looks like I think Bob is deciding that that's not the play that was intended. They're going to put it in off the Ether Vial. And we're going to use our 1-lander to take down the Hallowed Fountain, turning it into an island. And it looks like this 1-lander is trying to go all the way. Single blue mana, going for a Serum Visions. And we will see if Jared has the ability to come back from this one. Hopefully there are some multiple lands in that hand. Is this the Sphinx's Revelation Colonnade Blue-White Control? It's a Colonnade Blue-White Control. It's got Gideon in it. I did the Sphinx's Rev because it's an iconic blue-white card. but it could very well be Supreme Verdict and probably be more accurate to what we've seen. So I'll just do that. So we have a colony coming down. We have the land just face down to represent that it is only an island, as I believe what Jared is trying to do. We do have a Silvergill Adept, which is an excellent way. Actually, viling that in can be an incredible way to gain some velocity because you don't need to reveal the Merfolk. But I think Bob is instead going to try and get in 2 of these Lords for now. Yep, and I think we're just going to try and swing for 3. You've got a little bit of a chance here, Jared, only having 2 mana, Supreme Verdict not coming down next turn. Taking the chance that you have to get in this hit could actually be the right call, because if you're able to untap with more of this velocity, attack for 9 throughout your field, and have Jared at 5, that can be excellent. We do have a Plains on the battlefield. A Detention Sphere, if there is one in hand, could be backbreaking here. And we've got an island coming down. And we're just going to kick it back. No turn 3 plays. But now keeping the island as opposed to the Plains is curious. What triple blue spell do you need at this stage in the game? I'm not certain. Now, whether or not it was actually there, we did see. Alright, and we're going to fire this off. Path to Exile is in hand. Now, Bob might end up viling in this Silvergill Adept. Sometimes you want to do that at the end of the turn. Alright, he's going to put that one face down. Now, this will matter for Devotion, so we'll have to make sure that they catch that. But that's not in the graveyard, and we're going to put this in. If we draw a land, this means you can make a main phase land drop. What's the face down, though? Those are lands that have been hit by Seize Claim and are just islands. They're representing it by putting the land face down because of the blue sleeves to track easier. And that is a hit for 9. So we are going to fall down to 5. That is a hit and a half. Draws into yet another Plains, but actually the huge benefit to this is by cutting off double white mana, Supreme Verdict is no longer an option, so Jared lost his ability to sweep this board, and he's just going to pick it up. Bob's Seize Claims took it down. The middle one was a Hallowed Fountain, but Bob taking down the Hallowed Fountain as well as the Sister Colonnade takes it down. The reason for playing Island over Plains, the Merfolk had Claim and Seize. Well, yeah, but Jared didn't know that. I think it was just because he only needed the singular white mana, and I think you're correct on that one. I think the hope was that Jared wouldn't get hit by that one, have the white mana be able to drop down the second white mana, and then cast the Verdict. Okay. So, Bob takes game 2, pretty resoundingly. You know, for a blue deck, those Seize Claims were pretty resiliently effective against it. Thanks, Nathan. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. It is a cool one. I like it. I'm a fan of it. And we're going to keep on pushing forward here. But what is up, Bryce? How are you doing? How are you enjoying this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Saturday? You seem to be taking a little bit of time off since you're not here. But also, fun fact, check out what someone got me as a gift. It's a Macho Man Randy Savage magazine, which sounds like it has absolutely zero context, which it does, but that's okay. It's kind of exciting. Someone found that at Half Price Books and bought it for me. Why? Because the Macho Man Randy Savage is hilarious. So there's a Wall of Omens. That's actually going to be a pretty nice blocker. We've got Path to Exile in hand, a lot of land, and a Detention Sphere. Jared is working with 3 cards, but those 3 cards are all decently effective in this one. Otherwise, we've got Seize Claim, Unified Will, Curse Catcher, Lord of Atlantis, Seize Claim. A lot of options. Macho Man Randy Savage impression, go? Not now, but sometime. Remind me. Bob going full without that one. So we're going to be trying out a 6, probably just not enough land in that hand to be comfortable. And we're going to be trying to find something else for... Don't tempt him. That's awesome. And probably fair. I would not recommend it. So we're going to see our best 6, hopefully, and try and move forward with that. Meantime, Jared keeping the 7. Looks good. Also on the play. Still looking good. And it's a lot better. I'm not entirely sure. How are you doing, Harmony? Are you having a wonderful day? Because it sounds like you are. Rove, how you doing? Hopefully all is good in the world of Rove. But welcome, Harmony. Not entirely sure what it is that's triggering you, but enjoy your stay. So Bob on the draw with 6. A good 6 could serve pretty well though. On the draw, you're functioning up to 7. The scry does mean that Bob will actually have access to a little bit of knowledge about that hand. We do have, looks like, only 1 land again. I think Bob might be going down to 5. It's Curse Catcher, Vapor Snake, Spell Pierce, and it's just not looking like it's enough. It's 4 in the morning? Ooh, happy morning then, Harmony. Happy morning, happy Europe. And looks like we're going to keep this one. Vapor Snake, yeah, Vapor Snake was in the main deck. I'm a little bit surprised that it stayed in the deck, but Bob might have kept some number of copies for the purpose of trying to... Oh, they went in the wrong order. But they might have been keeping some copy in to protect through Supreme Verdict. Infernum, it's good to see you. How you doing? Don't know who to root for? Root for us, the viewers, to see a great game. I'm doing well. I had an unexpected nap today. That threw me off because I don't nap that often. And it's going to throw me off. It's going to have me all flustered, probably. No, us. The collective us. Another Curse Catcher coming down. Not a whole lot of point to attacking. And we'll see what we can do. Burn is for people that don't want to spend money. I hear that. I hear that. Did I see the sideboard guide? The one that was posted about a week ago? Because if so, I did. And I haven't gone through the entirety of it yet, but I did save it. And I did notice that they actually... whoever this burn player is, I don't know who they are, but they sideboard pretty similarly to me, and I love that. Because, oh yes. Now the interesting thing is that Bob actually can't sacrifice in response to this. There is no instant or sorcery to sacrifice. So the Merfolk now gone Bob on 2 lands. Harry, what should you play at the real GP tomorrow? What are the options? So we've got a Master, or sorry, Lord of Atlantis. Let's see. JH Portnoy, the game that I was playing, if you mean Clone Drone in the Danger Zone, and yes, I will be streaming it again. I stream that game decently often. A Gideon of the Trials? What? Look at this thing! I love it, so we're going to plus it up and prevent all damage that Master of the Pearl Trident, or I'm sorry, that Lord of Atlantis would do. However, there is no island on the battlefield. It's a glacial fortress and a celestial colonnade. There are no islands on this battlefield. Bob, I think, needs to Spreading Seas out one of these white lands and hope to draw the 4th land. But I actually would have not. I would have used the 2 islands, I think, because then you could activate the Mutavault. But it looks like Bob might have other plans. Interesting. Huh. But as far as maybe Lantern, actually, yeah, do Lantern. Lantern looks really good. I forgot that you had that. If you think that you can play Lantern well, that would probably be not a bad choice. I think the redraw was the play. It would have been the on-curve play. Certainly. So we do have an island down there from the Spreading Seas. The Spreading Seas remaining on Bob's side of the board. And we are just representing it as an island by turning it face down, that colonnade. We're going to untap. We've got 3 mana. We've got a Gideon of the Trials, which can plus up, so it can still handle the singular threat that's being offered here. And we're going to fire off a Serum Visions. Now, Bob deciding to hold on to this Spell Pierce, looking to get some value for it this turn. And I think we might end up using it on the... Oh, can't hit the Wall of Omens with it. I'm going to draw another card. The Vapor Snake got rid of it, but Bob can't answer it the second time, so it's really just ended up another cantrip for 2 mana. And we might see a Ghost Quarter coming down as our land for the turn. That's going to be a great answer to that Mutavault, so Bob continuing to run out of options here. And that is going to be tricky. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. The Mutavault coming up. It has not been plussed on by that Gideon, but remember, there is a Ghost Quarter on the battlefield which can take it down. That is what I fully expect to happen. I think at this point, yep, that Ghost Quarter is going to take it down. We are at 19 for Jared after a little bit of action, but not too much happening so far. That Detention Sphere holding down 2 of the Curse Catchers. Bob grabbing the 4th land here, but it is going to be tapped. And we do have a couple of these Lords on the battlefield. Having 2 of them is nice because they give it to each other, and there is an island on the battlefield from that Ancestor Colonnade, which was hit by a Spreading Seas. So Bob could be looking decently nice here. As a heads up, that island enters tapped. Oh, I was thinking Path. I'm dumb. Forget everything I just said. I'm dumb. You're great. They're better than me, everybody. I was so stuck on Path in my mind that I just shouted wrong things. He likes Ghost Courting the Seas land? Yeah, but that doesn't actually answer the Mutavault. Modern 1K tomorrow? Yes, Modern 1K tomorrow. Beginning at noon Pacific time. Forgive me, I woke up an hour ago. Am I excited for it yet? I've been excited for it for weeks. Oh yeah, I am always excited. I'm not entirely sure who my co-host is yet, but I'll have to figure that out later. Possibly in the next, I don't know, 14 hours or so. Maybe, if I'm lucky. Otherwise, we've got 5 lands down for Bob. We have got a Marrow Regery and a Spell Pierce. We have 1 locked down by this Gideon the Trials, but this other one can attack for 4. So we could be seeing Jared fall down to 14 here because of that inability to block. Only 4 lands for Jared. No Supreme Verdict as of yet hitting that battlefield. And I think we're going to fall down to 13 unless a Path to Exile is the play. It is. Now this time the land will enter tapped, and I will be so smart. And Bob forced him to commit. That was an interesting choice on that Spell Pierce, because I don't think that Jared had any other intentions for that play. But we are going to find, ourselves a tapped basic. Bob not lacking for mana at this point. It is going to come into play. We are empty-handed, but something like a Master of Waves off the top would be incredibly, just big-time game. Getting 6 of those 2/1s out on the battlefield might be the method that's needed. But even at that point, you can start getting to a point where I wouldn't be surprised if this Gideon just goes for the ult soon. But this Merfolk deck is having a little bit of trouble right now. Alright, we've got 4 mana, and a Supreme Verdict's going to take out that wall, but sweep the table, and we are likely just going to see the Gideon use its 0, getting a bash. And now we have got Jared getting aggressive. It's a hit for 4. We're down to 16. Tie-Dye Gamer, it's good to see ya. thank you so much for joining. Hello to everybody else who is in the field tonight. Thanks for joining us in round 2. Curse Catcher is the draw. Just drops it down nice and easy. It's not doing a whole lot on the battlefield right now. And we will see what we can do. Adorable, thank you. What's with the face down land? That is an island that got hit by the Spreading Seas, which is on Bob's side of the board. That is how they're choosing to represent it, and it works for me. But welcome back. It is good to be back. I missed it, certainly. And then I wasn't here last night because I had a barbecue to go to, but it was also a pretty fun barbecue. So thanks for understanding, chat and everybody. Every now and then I try and pretend like I've got a life. Spreading Seas is a redraw. Rut-row with the sub! Thank you so much for your support for the Geek Fortress stream. Thank you so much for helping us do what we do. You are great, you are amazing, and you are appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so very much. You're the best. Around. And nothing's ever going to bring you down. Spreading Seas into Master of Waves. Can we live the dream? We are going to draw off of that to seize clay. Take it down. Just eliminate all of this mana base. Yes, I like it. We've got a path to exile, a cryptic command. We might fire off the cryptic command just to try and, but that is not the case. All right. Okay. Thanks for joining, Harmony. Okay. It was a Celestial Colonnade when it got hit by the Spreading Seas. It's an Ether Vial, but that's just not going to be enough. We're down to 12 for Jared. We have a drawing an Ether Vial after the Stony Sands comes down is just brutal. Bob might have wanted to hold that back in hand just to represent something else, but it's not going to end up being too impactful. We're going to fall down to 8. Cryptic Command is off, and another Spreading Seas. Goodness gracious. Cryptic Command just going to counter this one. Going to draw a card. It is going to enable Knockin' Bob down to 4 next turn, and if the hit is a Spreading Seas, I wouldn't even be surprised if he fires off a Snapcaster, if he fires off a Snapcaster just to get a little bit more pressure, but you don't really need it right now. It's going to be a hit for 4. We're down to 4. Boy, this deck knows how to chip shot in increments of 4. Mutavault is the play. It can technically block, so it's not the worst case scenario. But it looks like Bob is accepting the defeat of it. Jared was holding it up, I believe, a path to exile as an answer, and Jared may have just verbally communicated that. That is going to be the end of that game. Bob falls in 3 to blue-white control, which takes it in 3, which makes sense. It's, you know, Newton's laws in action on the battlefield. We're going to head on up to the booth and see if there's another backup match for us to see. I'll see you up there. Let's have some fun. Hello and thank you for joining. My name is TJ. This is the Geek Fortress stream, and of course you can help support by hitting that follow button, hitting that sub button, or just watching what you're doing now. Thank you so much for interacting with us, just like now, just like in the past, and just like we will going into the future. I'm excited about this. We are actually right at the end of round 2, so we are probably just gonna let that one sit as we get ready for round 3. I do believe we have 5 rounds tonight. It should be fun. You never bring in Stony Sense just for Ether Valley. It doesn't... Yeah, I don't know. So now we get the Macho Man. Ooh, some other time. Some other time. Usually when... chat doesn't generally like it when I do accents. I tried that a long, long time ago when I learned my lesson. It was actually a lesson that was pretty resoundingly clear. I remember one time I did an accent for like 5 minutes, and like half of viewership just gone, eliminated. So I'm okay without doing that for now. So we'll just be waiting for the next one, and I will do some Macho Man on Twitter or something like that any other time. Should have sided out the vials. I'm not certain about sideboarding out the vials against a counter spell deck. their strikes, in fact, that's kind of where I would like them at the most. But I could see a reason for it if you just want to make sure that you draw more gas, but it does, by having Ether Vials and counter spells, you do dilute your game plan somewhat, so maybe that is the answer, is to take out some of those Ether Vials. You watched a Lantern deck where the other person had Stony Silence? Ooh. Yeah. How did I do in Vegas? I had an absolute blast in Vegas, had a really good time, met some amazing people. I played in one side event, I didn't play in any of the main events. Walked around a lot, got ever so slightly tan, not too tan, because it was ridiculously hot out, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time outside. And just generally had a great week there, so it was a lot of fun. It was weird not to be streaming, but I'm very glad to be back. And as a way to get really fully back into the swing of things, be sure to check out tomorrow, noon Pacific time. That is right, noon Pacific time, about... Oh, what is that? 16 hours from now? 16 hours from now, there will be a modern 1K, a true 1K here at Geek Fortress, the very first one. It is going to be a ton of fun, and I am hippity hyped for it. Ooh, and I bet I'm about to get some information on round 3.
We are. Round 3 is available.
Wonderful. Also, are you able to confirm if it's 4 or 5 rounds?
I will confirm that in a second, but it's going to be 5 rounds.
Cool.
Alright, so you've got Steven facing the wall. And you've got Matt on the other side.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what pile is on Steven on?
He's on Abdon.
Oh, he's actually... By the way, I meant that in a very affectionate way. You should see his legacy deck.
Of course, yeah. It's just complete, you know, out there.
His legacy deck is...
It's
a 4-colored pile of all the cards that he likes.
surprisingly enough, he's off that deck, and I'm very sad.
What's he on now?
Just Abzan Stoneblade.
Boring.
He's just boring.
So...
I don't even know what to call Matt's deck.
Big landfall?
You can call it heroic.
Oh wait, no, this is Annex inside Media, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's Jeskai.
Wait, is he running Hada...
Zada?
Hydra
I
and Grinder?
believe so.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I mean, the game we played earlier, he had a Nith Magus Elemental. And a Crimson Wisp, so I don't know what's going on, but it's sweet.
Oh, you know what? This is actually a classic, because the Crimson Wisp, if you have the Zada out,
Yeah.
you hit one creature, you get 6 of it, you draw 6 cards off of it for the
Yep.
cantrip. Yes! Oh, that is gonna be... Okay, okay. I'm down for this.
Alright.
Thank you. Alright, does Bob have any caverns? I don't know. Let's see. You spent all non-magic days in the sun? Really? Unfortunate. You saw Coleman? Never ran into us. Oh man, I was there every day. Next time. We'll have to meet next time. Maybe next year in Vegas. I'm sure I'm going to try and be there. But let's head on down for round 3. Red-White Zada Hadron Grinder Heroic with Annex and Cymedia in the deck as well. We've got a brew up against Abzan. Let's have some fun. I'll see you there. Alright, and I needed to reset the life totals, and I forgot to do that, but we have got... This is actually a Jeskai deck, and he is throwing his hand up there. That is an Aurelia's Fury that he might be able to target. An Aurelia's Fury, now that is interesting. This deck is doing all kinds of stuff, but I'm going to say that this might actually be a Jeskai deck. In fact, I'm going to be certain of it. So this is a Jeskai Zada Heroic deck. Let's take a look at Zada, just to show you what we've got in store for you. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery that targets only a Zada Hadron Grinder, copy that spell for each other creature you control that the spell could target. Fatal Push coming down for the Battlefield Thermitage. Hold on. Let's see if I can even Thaumaturge. Oh man, how did I know that? Dang it, changed the wrong thing. Still impressed with myself for remembering that one. Okay. 2 lands out, and we're dropping in a Cerulean Wisps. This is going to be target creature becomes blue, untap it, draw a card, dropping into a Young Pyromancer, not hitting our 3rd land drop. and that is going to make it a little bit rough. Interesting. So the Battlefield Thaumaturge, a combo with the Aurelius Fury. We are going to pop this in response, and that Lightning Bolt will not be killing the Tarmogoyf. The Fatal Push, it was a 2-3. That Bolt looked promising, but by cracking that fetch, a really heads-up play by Steven in response gets it to being a 3-4, and Matt's Lightning Bolt looks significantly less effective as that happens. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. You hate to see it happen, but usually you only bolt to 2-3 Tarmogoyf once, you know? Usually. What do I think about the blue steel deck ran by Zach Elsick at the GP? I love it. It's awesome. I was hanging out with Zach all week. It was a blast seeing him. And as an extra super benefit, what I was able to do is, actually, some of you may know Eric, one of the Donaldson brothers. He named that deck. He came up with the name Blue Steel at dinner, which is awesome. So we have got the Red Wisps. I forget which this one does, but it does turn the creature red, gives it something else, and he draws a card. Still missing on this third land drop. Matt's having a pretty rough go of it. Not able to get his game plan going. Needs land, needs creatures, needs something. We're going to fire off a Path to Exile at this Tarmogoyf. It's haste. Thank you, Kinetic Stasis. I appreciate that. But Mr. Zurukai, I love that deck. It's super sweet. I am a fan. But yeah, it's sweet. I got to playtest him against it, actually. We playtested the burn matchup a little bit. Crimson Wisps. Thank you. Appreciate that, Kinetic Stasis. So Crimson Wisp, the single red. Target creature becomes red and gains haste until end of turn. Draw a card. Interesting cards from their draft environment, because I believe there were some... you were playing that one? I just remember Cerulean Wisps in those ones. But it's actually a lot better than you expect, Mr. Zurukai. It is significantly better. I think there's a little bit of tuning left to go on it. But that deck, I doubted it, and then I played against it. And that deck has got game. It is so explosive. Heard the burn matchup is rough. I did decently, except he also beat every burn player he ran into, and I think there was 3 of them. So hopefully my testing helped out. The big key against the burn matchup is putting down the Lodestone Golem. That was huge. Anytime that he could land that Lodestone Golem, the game was functionally over. It was just way too effective at what it did. Okay. I like it, Kinetic Stasis. That is some pretty cool tech. So we do now have a young Pyromancer on the battlefield. A Thoughtseize coming down. We're going to take a look at this hand. A third land is out. There is the Zada in hand. How many Plowenders are in the room? Well, if you're not in the room, then none. But this deck is... there's an Annex and Cymede and Aurelius Fury. Whew. Yep, the Postboard Thorn of Amethyst helps out too. Exciting out a Lodestone Golem. He put one out on turn 2 against me on more than one occasion. Like, in some of our testing, he would just drop down turn 2 Lodestone Golems, and I just couldn't beat it. It's like on the play, he dropped down a turn 2 of that, and it's just my entire game plan is shot. So Steven, taking a look at this hand, Cerulean Wisp, Zada, Hadron Grinder, Annex and Cymede, Aurelius Fury, and actually taking that one of all the cards. Aurelius Fury, not a card that I've seen in a long time. Not in a long time have I seen Aurelius Fury. Let's take a look at it. But that Battlefield Thaumaturge does help it out a lot. But it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or players. Tap each creature dealt damage this way, and players dealt damage this way can't cast non-creature spells this turn. It is kind of an expensive silence, but it is also a tap the field, and that Battlefield Thaumaturge does turn it into some pretty cool stuff of red-white, and hit everything. We've got a hit for 3, Matt falling down to 11. Looks like we're going to be falling down to 10 as we fire off this Arid Mesa as well. A Fatal Push in response. That is actually a really nice sequence by Steven. Waiting until Matt did not have the mana available to take it down. So now that Young Pyromancer has lost all of its relevance from that play. I like the patience from Steven on that play. Eating that, we're also going to go to 19. We're going to get another counter onto the Scavenging Ooze by eating up that Young Pyromancer when it's available as well. Matt unable to Lightning Bolt it at the time because it is now a 4/4. Fantastic sequencing from Steven as of yet in this game. Matt going to be untapping with 3 lands, draws into another one, might be trying to drop down the Zada Hadron Grinder, which could do some cool stuff, but also let's just bring up the other aspect of this deck, which is Annex and Saimidi. First Strike Vigilance, 3/2. We do hit the land, we do drop the Zada. Heroic, whenever you cast a spell that targets it, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample until end of turn, but Steven with his 4/4 is at Matt at 8 because of the shock land coming down. Steven willing to fall down to 18 with this fetch land. Going for a basic, for a Temple Garden by the look of it. So a tapped Temple Garden. Interesting to go for this during, I guess didn't have a whole, okay. It is coming into play untapped, which is why we're falling to 16 and why we're going for it now. Down to 16, what 5 mana play might we have? A Fatal Push on it. There we go. With Revolt because of the fetch land. Irish Wrath every Friday at 7:30. I cover Legacy. Hit for 5. We're down to 3. Matt needs an answer now. Battlefield Thaumaturge coming down. We no longer have the Aurelius Fury to be able to go for that play. But another Zada Hadron Grinder coming hit down to the battlefield. Passing it back, hoping that it's enough. But that Zada Hadron Grinder is going to have to block, and it is going to be difficult. Path to Exile takes it down. That's going to be a kill. Steven takes game 1 with the tried and true Obs on deck up against this Jeskai Heroic. Getting picked apart by those Fatal Pushes more than anything else. Whew. But yeah, Irish Wrath. We do Legacy every Friday at 7:30. I will be here. I'll be having a blast with it. It's a ton of fun. Plus, we do Modern every Wednesday and every Saturday, just like today. We will be having a Modern 1K tomorrow at noon Pacific time, and of course, we are also looking into re-expanding into Standard coverage when we can. Really looking to do that again because A, Standard actually looks playable, and B, more coverage is always good. It might not be me specifically. If I can, I might actually set up a secondary crew to run a Standard stream, but we're investigating it. Thank you, Irish Wrath. I do appreciate that. I like that you've got that Irish thing going on. I like that you've got that Wrath going on. You'd rather watch live Magic rather than MTGO. I understand that. I am actually pretty similar, though I do play MTGO from my home stream as well. Look at that super sweet plug. Nice. Twitch.tv/RedBaronMTG. Who said that? No one. No one said that. Let's see here. Flame Tongue Kavu? I probably don't think so. Well, let's I'm not seeing one right now. I'm not seeing one right now, but I'll send a message to Coleman to investigate. See, I already played against this deck. I will send a message to Coleman just to do a quick double check. Let's see. Hey, hello. I can't. Alex LTI. Thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's a pleasure having you here. You are a rock star. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just sending a quick little message here, but I truly do appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining. Feel free to let us know where you're from, but otherwise, feel free to jump into chat. Interaction with chat is the biggest part of the stream. It's one of our biggest features, which is how I put it on the stream, and it's what lets us be different than the other live ones out there, because really we're at a small store and we can't really compete with the resources of Star City or Channel Fireball, but what we can do is have a blast hanging out and having fun with you. Let's see here. And message sent. Thank you for letting me know. And it's very possible that it isn't, but that's okay. Oh, J.H. Portnoy. Who's that Red Baron guy? I don't know about him. Oh, is he the guy that's going to be on the next Loading Ready Run pre-release 1 week from today? Is that him? I'm going to be at the Loading Ready Run pre-release. Oh, I'm so excited. Who else is looking forward to Claim to Fame in Modern? I know a lot of Grixis Shadow players are. I'm going to be... But I'm gonna be in the next Loading Ready Run shameless. I am so beyond myself. Like, I am to the moon and back with excitement about being on that pre-release. This has been a goal of mine for like quite a bit of time. So I am so very excited. I just hope that I do well and I don't make a fool out of myself and have some fun with it. We've got a kind of Crone Crusader, some young Pyromancers in hand. Okay. Whew. That is okay, J.H. Portnoy. I understand. Alright. So is that an Hour of Devastation release a week early? It is a pre-release, so it is the hour a week early. The Loading Ready Run does it for the last like 5 or 6 sets or something like that. They've been doing it for a bit. So we're down to 19 for Steven. And let's see what we can do. Ooh, I do like me some Boros Charms, especially because they act as a really cool way to they're able to actually just take it down through the ability to Boros Charm to make your creatures indestructible when you have lots of them. What you're also able to do is you can actually just deal 4 damage to the opponent. It's a nice way to have reach. And in a deck like Zada Hadron Grinder, what you can do is copy the ability to double strike all of your creatures. So we've got a hit now for 2. Not getting too much of that prowess yet. We're down to 16 alongside that fetch. Sprankles. As an Esper Shadow player, Claim to Fame is disappointing to you. That makes sense. Sprankles, are you the Sprankles? Or is your name coincidentally similar? Curious. Temur Battle Rage. It's interesting. I'm curious to see if... I'm certain it will get tested. I'm not certain to what degree it will be tested. But it should be interesting all the same. Alright, so we've got the cut on the deck here. And Steven drawing for turn, getting ready to play out that second land. What have we got? We do have a Thoughtseize available, but the biggest thing is that you do eventually need to answer these prowess creatures. The flying on the... Ooh. Are we going to escalate twice? That is going to be pretty cool. Okay. No worries, Sprinkles. Welcome. It's a pleasure having you here. No worries whatsoever. So it looks like we are going to take that down, grab an instant sorcery left with 2 young Pyromancers and a Crowan Crusader in hand alongside the 1/3 Stormchaser Mage. Draws into yet another one. I think we're just going to go a Chrome Crusader into a Monastery Swiftspear is my expectation. But we might also see Matt just go with the young Pyromancer in the meantime, because if he's able to untap and actually start casting spells with that one, it will flood the board pretty nicely. Down to 15 falls Steven in this game 2, with Steven in the lead with that game 1. We are heading down to 14 off of a fetch. We'll see if we are going to go all the way down to 12. Doesn't look like it. We did double check it. It is not a Flametongue Kavu in the sideboard. We did confirm. Three mana available for Steven currently, and 1 coming down. It is going to be a Thoughtseize. Taking a look at this hand, we're already aware of most of it, except for the Swiftspear, leaving the 2 1-drops behind. Steven expecting to be able to hand to that one. We've got a white and a black mana. It is going to be a Tarmogoyf, which is going to outclass I think you are correct, Dio Von Karma. I think you are correct. But that, or at least that's the Twitter handle, but I don't know. It's all inconsequential until it isn't. So we're counting up this Tumblewave. We've got Sorcery Land. We, I believe, have Creature, and I think there's an instant around, floating around somewhere. The Encroaching Crusader comes down. We do still have a white and blue mana available. It's an attack in for 1. Not much happening for Matt at the moment, but we are down to 11 for Steven, who needs to come up with an answer to all of these. Though, the flying on the Stormchaser Mage is a little bit harder to answer, otherwise the Young Pyromancer and the Encroaching Crusader are currently handled. An Abrupt Decay coming down onto the Young Pyromancer because that card is able to go wide. And we'll see what we can do. 2 mana still available. It is a white and a green source, which means that Abrupt Decay not an option, Fatal Push not an option. But what we could be looking at is a path to exile potentially. Monastery Swiftspear coming down, still not able to attack very well. Could just be the attack for 1 in the air from this Stormchaser Mage, but actually Matt leaving it back, so holding up for something, maybe looking to do a multiple blocks kind of scenario, maybe fire off some instants or sorceries. But Steven got a Windswept Heath. Searching that library, we are down to 10, probably going for a basic if possible. But we do already have 3 on the battlefield. If there is a 4th basic, that would likely be the last one, and usually that's Swamp, so we do have to shock as it turns out. So we're going to go down to 8, 5 mana available for Steven with a 4/5 Tarmogoyf on the field. Matt with a Monastery Swiftspear, Stormchaser Mage, and a Encroaching Crusader. 2 mana tapped, black and white for Steven. For that mana cost, not sure what we'll be looking at. And it is going to be a Dark Confidant hitting the battlefield. A little bit unusual in an Obzon list, but also dropping down a Liliana using the Overgrown Tombs and that Swamp. And this is actually going to be a plus. So we are really seeing how confident Steven is at the moment. At 8, firing off. Let's see here. Oh, no, and I don't have anyone else I just fired in, but that's a fair point. But Dark Confidant out. Steven might almost just die to this, so a win condition needs to come down quickly. Otherwise, we do have an instant or a sorcery. We are going to get an Encroaching Crusader token off of this, and now we're going to untap from Matt. We do have a Cerulean Wisps. We have the ability to get a little bit of prowess. But this is going to be interesting. The Liliana plussing up, also pretty bold, just because of a minus able to somewhat chip away at that board. But then it would be at risk of dying to that Stormchaser Mage. But plussing the Liliana when there are more creatures on the battlefield, definitely interesting. But with Matt only having 1 card in hand, definitely did look like a solid play. We've got an attack in, and we are definitely looking to get some bashing going. Are we going face? I fully expect so. The problem with attacking here is that I actually... And Steven wants to keep this around. We're going to Cerulean Wisp the Encroaching Crusader. It's going to untap it. We're going to draw a card. It's an Aurelia's Fury. Not able to do anything with it at the moment. But there's going to be a little bit of damage into Steven. And Steven, if this whole attack was going face, this is getting dangerous for Steven, who is unwilling to sacrifice the Dark Confidant, even after casting it at 8 with attackers coming in. No, and that was actually an attack at the Liliana, so Matt, trying to answer that card before it minuses, loses the Encroaching Crusader. We are going to take the Fatal Push, fall down to 7, draw another card. That Fatal Push able to answer the Stormchaser Mage, and suddenly this Dark Confidant looks pretty nice on this board. Fatal Push taking it down right now before Matt can do anything to respond to it. Fully aware of the card on the battlefield, puts in 2 of these Lingering Souls, and Matt now might be in a position of just waiting. If I were Matt, I would say I'm at 15 life. I would start using my Aurelia's Fury to just try and take down some of these Lingering Souls spirits, and I would just make it my game plan, survive. This Dark Confidant might just do the rest for me. But we've got a plus up on this Liliana at the moment. Firing off that Fatal Push as well as Lingering Souls during the main phase so that he could plus up to Liliana without losing any cards. Down to 11 falls Matt after that hit from that Tarmogoyf comes in after tapping out there, and that I don't quite see what it is. It is an Acroan Crusader again. We do have the Aurelius Fury available at the moment. And let's see what we reveal from this Dark Confidant. Looking to get aggressive again. Interesting choice. And now we might see this Dark Confidant get in the way. If I was Steven, I would absolutely make that play. Full trades across the board. It's now a Tarmogoyf and a Liliana against an Acroan Crusader. And almost certainly that Liliana will just minus eliminate it. And now, Matt is likely going to fall. But going for a plus, now that's an interesting choice. Apparently looking to just keep this card as a card advantage engine. Matt willing to fall down to 7. But now if Matt is able to draw into any instant or sorcery, then that Liliana minus gets significantly worse. But draws a land, puts it into play tapped, and is likely just going to kick the turn back. Steven untaps, and it looks like we're going to be taking this game in 2. I think I probably would have gone face as well, Jay Gross. Getting in that extra 2 damage to Steven does mean that he's more likely to die from the Dark Confidant, but then I would just not attack any further. Tarmogoyf comes down, looking for an answer. It's the 5th land, and we are going to pick it up, get ready for another feature match here in round 3. That was the end of this one. The Acroan Crusaders, looks to be they were from the sideboard, maybe as an answer to the Liliana. I don't know, let's head on up, and I will see you there. Hello and welcome to the Geek Fortress stream. My name is TJ. It's a pleasure having you here. You are all rock stars in every possible way, and I cannot wait to see you more in the future. If you are joining for the first time, be sure to hit that follow button and consider subscribing to the channel. The follow looks like a heart. The sub looks like a $sign to me. That sounded unnecessarily greedy. Alright, if you can, please do. If not, it's okay. It all just kind of goes to doing the cooler things with the stream. Man, walked down a weird path with that one, and now we'll just take a little bit of a detour and walk away. So, if you are watching, be sure to check out the Modern 1K that we've got tomorrow, starting at noon Pacific time on Sunday, because you know all the best events are happening that day of the week. You can join us here at noon. I will be casting the full-on 1K prize pool Modern event here at Geek Fortress, where the players will be stacking up to fight for the finish. I know. Crimzino, thank you so much for hitting that follow. I appreciate it. You are the best around, and nothing's ever going to bring you down. Otherwise, there might be another match out there. Coleman, I believe, in the field, keeping his eyes open, but I will send him a little message anyway, just to be safe. Okay. Because that's what we like to do. We like to be safe. Can we play fun or fail? 20 questions today? Absolutely we can. Nothing like that game to have some fun. You can't find Texas. Do I have him? Yeah, he's here. He's here. Alright, let's try and line this up. I think I'm in the just off. Play a little bit of fun or fail. Our first one up is Mardu Skull Hunter. I actually like this card. It gets a fun for me, but here's the interesting thing is I love the mechanic Raid from a new player perspective. I think it was absolutely fantastic as a tool for new players. Having something that encourages newer players. Is there something wrong with the mic? No. I don't think so. How's our sound looking to anybody else? What kind of software do we use? About the same as most streams. Our cameras are all Logitech C920s. Our mic is a Blue Yeti. Yeah, that's pretty much what we've got. So, how many eyes does Tarmogoyf have? Too many. Absolutely too many. But yeah, it gives a huge incentive for people to actually play cards in their second main phase. It's a great way to teach players that. I love the raid mechanic for that. This one gets a fun for me. Bradley, also just feel free to message me anytime, because I would happily talk about what kind of equipment anytime that, you know, getting other streams up and running is pretty exciting for me. So feel free to do it, but also the other person who is a really good resource is Elion on Twitch. Fantastic. Leyline of Anticipation. I'm a fan. This card gets a fun. It doesn't mean that it's fantastic, but it means that it's fun. And that's enough for me. I'm excited about it. It's a cool one. I just dig it all around. It's a neat card in general. It gets a win for me. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to coordinate getting a backup match as well. So, forgive me for a moment while I'm doing that. Let's see here. It was great meeting you in person. Yes! Bro Spy, it was so cool meeting you. You're great, and you had the lab coat, and you were all kinds of cool. It was great meeting you. I was so excited. I felt so bad that I wasn't able to make it to that meetup. I was trying to bounce between that one, but I had to be at the LRR panel at that time. It was like exactly the same time that I saw you start it. So I wish we could have hung out more, but you know what? This just means that we're both gonna have to go to some more events in the future and hang out some more. I'd love to go get some like a dinner or something like that. Like let's just do cool stuff, because cool stuff is the best stuff, right? That's just how it is. Okay. Wait, do I have a second feature match table now? No, we are working on it, however. We are working on it. We are going to try and get to that point, but we are not there at the moment. So, in the future, we will have that fun. For now, we don't. But that's okay. That's okay. Coleman is out there looking right now, and we should be having another match in a moment. Dino, let's do that then. Let's do that. That sounds fun too. That sounds like a blast. Otherwise, hi everybody. My name's TJ. This is the Geek Fortress stream, and definitely feel free to join us in the future. I love doing this commentary. We do it 3 times a week. We've got an extra one tomorrow, and otherwise, we just have no intention of stopping. It's gonna always be a fun time, always be a good time, and we will absolutely have some fun. Looks like there are nothing but Game 3s out there at the moment, which does mean that we will be heading into Round 4 shortly. So that's at least a nice little benefit. So hopefully that's exciting. Okay. Where's our shop at? Our shop is located in Snohomish, Washington, which is in the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. It's called Geek Fortress. It's always such a blast, and we are north of Seattle. You bought a token of me in Charlotte? Thanks, Greg! You did so well in Charlotte, if I remember right. Congratulations on that. I would love to meet you someday. Yes, I love it. Thank you so much for buying a TJ token. I do love those TJ tokens. It is so cool that that exists. I got to, let's see here. Met someone named Jacob, and I got to make the coolest thing, which is that I made a TJ energy token, which was super cool. So now I kind of want to keep making energy tokens in the future, because I turned one of them into that, and it just seemed the most fitting. It was their request, and it was brilliant. I'm super excited by that. Let's see. 3 mana 4/4. Thundering Worm is bad. Chorus of Might. That's a fail? Hold on. Until end of turn, target creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control and gains trample. You know what? I'm actually going to give this one a fun. It's a cool way to have reach with a go wide creature deck, but usually you don't even need it. So I'll say fail, but it's also kind of cool. But it's a fail anyway. Bronze Sable. I'm going to say fun only because I drafted a lot of this card. Thanks for rooting for you. Of course, you're the best. Bronze Sable gets a win in my book. The coolest thing about this card, is that it's 2 mana. That was like the thing that I liked about it. But in that set, I liked building low CMC decks, so occasionally I would just end up with like 3 Bronze Sables in like a red deck, and they were fun. It was a 2/1 for 2, which was playable. That was enough for me. So I'll say fun. More cats are always kind of cool. Solidarity. Creatures you control get +0/+5 until end of turn. I'm gonna say fail. I am going to say fail. It's not that good as a combat trick. It's basically can only be used defensively, and +0/+5 is complete overkill for that. For 4 mana, that's not what I'm on. I'll say fail. Unless, of course, you're playing a Doran deck. Heliod, God of the Sun. It's fun. It's cool. The gods are sweet. It's indestructible, which was a little bit difficult, but having one that gave creatures you control vigilance and offered a win condition and some cool decks, this one was all kinds of awesome. Heliod's character was a jerk, which actually, you know what? That was more benefit, that was more benefit. So not only did we have a card that was actually pretty fun to play, right? Can we play Fun or Fail with Robo Rosewater cards? That actually does sound fun. Let's do that sometime. But not only do we have a card that is like pretty good to play, but we also had a character. We had a character that was a villain in Mono White, which was very cool. And I like that concept. So let's go on to the next one. Relic of Progenitus. I think this card is fun. I like this one. I like it. It's pretty sweet. It does everything that you could ever want it to do with cantrips. I play it. It's a great card. Always pick it up. Always have more in the deck. I don't really know what that set symbol is, though. Oh well. Dragon's Herald. Look at that Goblin Shaman for 1 mana, 1/1 that you can. Pay 3, tap it. Sacrifice a black creature, red creature, green creature. Search your library for a Hellcat Overlord and put it into play. I'm actually going to say fun design, even if it is a... I'll say fun. It's fun design. I'm not a big fan of it personally, but I think that it's a really cool design from a perspective of like the kitchen table of the Timmy players. Having something that really encourages you to like get the giant creature out. It's got a really cool appeal. Do we just pull up random cards for this feature? Yes, we do. This is a segment that we call Fun or Fail. But yeah, it is completely random. So, if we figure that it helps the genuineness of it. Goblin Churchkin. I don't know. I feel like it's just Churgeon. Is it just Churgeon, actually? It's like a surgeon, but terrible. I don't know. But you can sacrifice a goblin to regenerate target creature. Flavorfully, that card's hilarious. That being said, it's pretty bad. The big thing about it is... Whoa! Janelle says hi. Hi, Janelle. Janelle, are you in town? What's up, Janelle? How you do? How's life treating you? There's a saw on the battlefield, but yeah, the big benefit of this card is like the... Oh, you know what? Here's the benefit of this card. In the recent video that they did of opening a box of Fallen Empires at GP Vegas between the professor, I was in the background when he held up this card. That's what I've got for it. Still fun conceptually, like old fun goblins were super fun. The goblins that were just bad at their job. Okay. Second card and a second time that you've heard this card referenced. Why? We just do random cards. That's main it. Stranglehold. Fun. This card is wildly underplayed. This card's just a champ. Your opponents can't search libraries. If they would begin an extra turn, they can't. This card is sweet and fun. The flavor text is great. I loved this card in Limited. It was all kinds of sweet. I'm a fan. Keep it up. And make this card modern legal. Please. Forest. Fail. Predator Flagship. Whoa. It's an artifact that can kill any creature, and that's kind of cool. It's really overcosted, but at the time it was probably reasonably costed just because creatures are terrible, so you didn't need it that soon. But it's 5 mana, 7 mana to destroy something, 5 mana to destroy something that already has flying. It's pretty good. That being said, I'm not a big fan. I'll say fun because that entire like storyline was great. Even if the card's kind of medium. Nixus of the Black Oath. Actually, I did like these. I do like these ones. I like that they made the commanders that could, or the ones that could be your commander. I like that they're all throwbacks in time to a previous one. And getting to see Nixus as a non-demon was very cool. You never got the flavor of when you give a creature flying and then kill it. You only have AA guns, but you also have a trampoline. So you've got this AA gun, and you're like, whoa, that's a creature flying. Just bah, bah, bah. There's a boom, and you get it. But what if it's on the ground? Well, what you do is you go and just put a trampoline in the ground. Now, these creatures on the ground, they don't realize that they need to watch out for AA guns, but you see a trampoline on the ground, unguarded, you know what you're going to do. You're going to hop up on that bad boy, and you are going to have the time of your life. So you get on up, you do a couple of test bounces, see kind of how springy it is that you've got, and then you just set your sights for glory, and you start getting those legs moving to where you can get as high as you possibly can. You even get your buddy to jump on there and give you that good old double jumperoo, and as you hit the peak of your glorious moment in which you feel like you could see forever, bam, the Predator flagship gets you. Smacks you out of the air like a fly getting hit by a fly swatter. And that is the flavor of Predator flagship. Oh, now I see. Minimo's Meddling. 4 mana, counter a spell. You search their library for basically... Whoa! Wait, what does this do? Search that reveals their hand, then discards each card with the same name as a card spliced onto that spell. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'll say fail. This card's fail. It's so... Oh, man. I'm proud of myself. Oh, yeah. I'm proud of myself for that story. Cloudy Big Tiny, it's good having you back. Confessor. Fail. We already talked about it. It's a terrible effect. It's like, why run a bad card that if you do a good effect, you get a terrible ability? Like, hooray, I gained a life after doing something that was actually useful. Cone of Flame. Fun because drafting it... I talk too much suddenly. My goodness. Woo! Fun for a card involving the splice mechanic. This card's real good and limited, so fun. That's what I got. Instill Infection. You know what? This card was surprisingly playable in its draft environment. I just don't know. You missed the stream working overnight? Oh no, Cloudy Big Tiny. No, we miss you. Come back. Cloudy, come back. You can blame it all on me. But yeah, Instill Infection, surprisingly playable in its draft environment. I don't know. I'll give it a fun because putting a cantrip onto that effect, and I guess it was well designed for its environment, which had a ton of X1s. Plus you had proliferate kind of nonsense, and overall, just a cool set. Fun. This card's super fun. In fact, I think at one point I had a beta clone. I'm not sure if I still do. I may have traded it or something. But I had a beta clone at one point, which was really neat. Otherwise, the card's cool, the art's sweet, and it's clone's a classic, you know? Spike Colony for 5 mana? 5 mana for 4 that you can put counters onto other creatures. It's about as generic as you can get a spike to be. Does not currently represent the spikes very well over in r/spikes, but hopefully the new unset will fix that one. I'm going to give this one a fun, only because I think the spike creatures were actually pretty sweet. What time does the stream start tomorrow? Noon Pacific time. It's currently 8:30 here, which means that it'll be in about 15.5 hours if my math is correct. Should be a good time, a great time, and a time to bring their friends, family, pets, acquaintances, and people that you don't even know to, just to show them how cool of a stream there is that exists. Oh wait, that's us. Didn't mean to toot my own horn, I was just talking objectively. Next card. My pleasure. Mountain, fun. It's the best land that is. It's in fact my favorite basic land. In fact, it's my favorite land. Maybe not this particular art, though it is great, but Basic Mountain is my favorite land in existence. Boom, fun. Magus of the Wheel. Yes. Fun, even if it's not good, but it's fun. Fate is not as fixed as you might think. Yes. Yes. This card is fun. This card is super cool. Like, man. Wheel of Fate, great card. Wheel of Fortune, great card. Magus of the Wheel, great card. Sarcomancy. 1 mana. When it enters the battlefield, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token on the battlefield. For an enchantment, it's actually just a 2/2. But at the beginning of your upkeep, if there are no zombies on the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to you. So it's an enchantment that gives you a 1 mana 2/2. But, if you lose that zombie, if you get greedy, if you lose what made you you, you're going to start getting beat. That's basically it. I think this is actually a really cool card design. I don't love it as far as printing it in current sets, but the fact that an effect like this exists and you're able to turn an enchantment into a creature with a downside like this is actually pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, J.H. Portnoy. That was very kind of you to put in that helpful little thing. Alright, let's jam in the Dragon Lair Spider. Okay, this card's fun, but it's so annoying to play against. Having a 6-mana 5/6 with reach is already bothersome, but then whenever I cast a spell, they start making insects. This card is so good. I love it. It's cool. Yes, at least as a restrictive mana cost, that's kind of cool. This card gets a fun for me because it's a spider that's actually pretty cool and playable and feels like it's... Like, I wish this had been the legendary spider, but you don't even need to. At the time of Sarcomancy, there were a lot of other zombies. That's true. Well, actually, I didn't know that, but I assume that that's true. This swamp has sweet art. Also, it's from... Oh, wait, hold on. We gotta talk about that card real quick. This card gets a fun for one reason and one reason only, and that is the set that it came out of. This is the Sorin vs. Tibalt Swamp. I love Tibalt. Tibalt's great. I got a picture with Tibalt. Hannah Ship's Navigator. Return target artifact or enchantment from your graveyard to your hand. I dig it. It's sweet. It's a 3-mana 1/2. It's cool. It's fun in Commander. It's legendary. And it's from that same storyline that we were already talking about being great. So it's great. Death Ward. Regenerate target creature for 1. I'm going to give that a fail. I also did eat a Tibalt. That was not pleasant. Death Ward. Fail. Boring. It's boring. It's unexciting. The art is incredible though. I love that person has got the coolest jacket I've ever seen on a Magic card, and they are apparently casting quite a spell while also holding up Luke's lightsaber, by the look of it. Still, I'm gonna give it a fail, unfortunately. Hornet Cannon, fun. I don't care what this does. What does it even do? It's a 4-mana artifact that pay 3 to put in a 1/1 colorless insect artifact token with flying and haste named Hornet onto the battlefield, then destroy it at the beginning of the next end step. My goodness, this card is terrible, but it looks so much fun. So it gets the points for being fun, even if it is awful. A Hornet Cannon. That's a good point. You have a really good point. But my goodness. Banishing Stroke. Miracle was an interesting mechanic, but it was also bonkers. I don't know. I'll say fun? Fun? I'll say fun. Fun. Basic Landshark, we are just playing a little bit of Fun or Fail while we're waiting for the next round, which should be starting here in just a moment. Some Game 3s were going live, so we were just filling a little bit of time. Thank you everybody for sticking around and joining. It's a pleasure having almost 200 of you here. Thank you all for being a part of this stream with me, and thanks for all of your support. I guess, give me do you think this card is a fun or a fail, everybody? But while you're doing that, let me just tell you a couple of quick things. Anybody who is going to be around tomorrow at noon Pacific time, we will have a Modern 1K event. Also, just some fun little information about myself that I'm really excited about. It's a big deal for me, and I will be in the next Loading Ready Run pre-release, which is in a week, and I'm super hyped and excited about that one. So if you are going to be around next Saturday and you have the chance, frankly, I'm the least known person of the 4 guests, and it would be super kind to have some support in the chat for me, because I'm going to be surrounded by 3 people who have pretty big communities around them, and frankly, I'm not too worried about that. It's going to be a ton of fun, but it'd be cool to see a little bit of TJ hype in the chat. Boggart Sprite Chaser. We've got some funds in the chat. No one seems to be going for the fail. As long as you control a fairy, I think it's so weird that you've got a Goblin Warrior, but actually is only good in like a fairy deck. It's pretty funny. Cross-travel synergies are great. Yeah, I hear ya. I hear ya. It's a weird card. You have to be basically in either a red-black or a red-blue deck where you're running a card that doesn't belong in the deck, but because you are running it, it's actually a 2/3 for 2 with flying, which is surprisingly decent. I'll give this card a fun because of the conceptual nature of it, but it is weird. It is super weird. Okay. Let's see. Next. Thanks, JBH Mickey. Changelings. Oh, that's a good point. You had changelings. That is interesting. Okay. Changelings were in that set, weren't they? Man, changelings like were weird, but still cool. That's true. That makes the goat napper way cooler too. Island. Fun because it's fun. Soul Blast. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know this card existed. Hold on. 6 mana. As an additional cost. What round are we in? We are in round 3, getting ready for round 4 shortly. As an additional cost to play it. What? Aruk Snafu! Thank you so very much for that sub. I appreciate it. You are great and awesome, and thank you for your support. You are so fantastic. Thank you for helping this stream be what it is, and thank you for helping us push us to our next, you know, what our goals are. Thank you for subbing. Thanks for supporting. Thank you so very much for everything. Sacrifice all the creatures. It deals damage to target creature or player equal number of total power of the sacrificed creatures. I need to play this card in something. I don't even know what, but I need to play this card in something. This card just looks way too fun. The art is way too cool. The Soul Blast, everybody. We need to do something with Soul Blast. Angel of Mercy. It's a flying that when it comes to play you gain 3 life, 3/3 for 5. I'll say fun. It's a simple design, but it's nice, it's elegant, it does exactly what you want it to do. It's playable in draft. The 3 life is decent. It's fine. Yeah, it's a serviceable card. It gets fun for me. Krovikan, a Krovikan Fetish. An enchant creature. When it comes to play, it's got a cold trip on it. Thanks, 5-Speed LA. I appreciate that. That's super kind. I bet it'll... Oh, you'll have to refresh. Once you refresh, it'll show up on here. But thank you so much. The enchanted creature gets +1/+1. That's super slow. I don't know. Meh. Dece. I'll say fail. It's a fail. Cool art, though. Lure. Oh, man. Lures have been around forever. I'll say fun purely based on that, but they aren't that good. Yeah. Mouth to Feed. Mouth to Feed. You create a 3/3 hippo, but you can also draw a card for each creature you control with power 3 or greater. I'll say fun. These cards are cool. You keep having to turn your head sideways for them, which is a little bit difficult. One of our mods has apparently updated Joe Coolfax. It used to just put in a link. What's up, Cliffy81? One of our mods is apparently a member of the Clergy of Cool and has made a slight change to that command. Well done. Goblin Rough Rider. I have drafted this card on more than one occasion. I'll say fun. What was the other set? It was in a core set, and I drafted it a bunch in that. So I'll say fun. Card's sweet. It's boring, but it's sweet. Fun. Volshock Sorcerer is very cool. Having haste on this card made it pretty cool. You can take down small creatures. It was from a set. Actually, I wasn't thinking of 5th Dawn, but still, very cool. Or did the command change itself? Actually, I would believe that. Orzhov Pontiff. Fail. Anything with Haunt is a fail for me. Of course, that command... Haunt is always a fail for me. The card's great. It's played. It's good. All of that is all well and good. But it's just a fail. Conceptually, it just doesn't make any sense. It's a card that's only when it either comes into play or when the creature that it was haunting it leaves play. It's absurd. It's absurd. So while it's good, it's a fail to me. Fun. This card's super fun. It was great in Conspiracy. It was fun in This card is always good. It's awful to play against, but it always gets a fun. It always gets a fun. Godsire. Oh, this card's so good. Fun. I'm going to say fun even if it is miserable to play against. Also, Also, I've played against this in Momer, and that is the worst. Just the worst. Having a Vigilance 8/8 for 8 that you can also just start slamming new 8/8s is pretty good. Energy Arc. A+ art gets a fun. Alright. It looks like Luke Skywalker is like falling from the Shadow Realm. Untap any number of target creatures. Those creatures neither deal nor receive damage in combat this turn. Oh, okay, so it's like a blue-white Odd Fog. Huh. Mostly lost, it probably was you.
So, I got a match for you.
Question, does that look like Luke Skywalker falling out of the Shadow Realm?
Not really.
No?
No.
What does it look like to you then?
Looks like a piece of New Wave art.
Why can't the New Wave art be of Luke Skywalker falling out of the Shadow Realm?
Because it's New Wave, they wouldn't reference Star Wars.
Good point. You win there. Alright, what you got for me?
You got Jared facing the wall.
Jared facing the wall. Had to swap sides on that, huh?
Yep, I totally did. And Michael on the other side. No, it is not what you think it is.
This is the blue-white control?
Yep, blue-white control versus Jund.
Oh. Another actually interesting matchup. This blue-white control is coming up with some interesting stuff to face.
Yeah.
Okay. I dig it. Let's do Liliana over there. And then for Jared, let's do probably Supreme.
I would pick Cryptic Command, but either way.
Yeah, but the art on Supreme Breaks is, I think, better.
That's one person's opinion.
Okay, let's head on down. We'll see you there. The avocado green turtleneck. Alright, it's time for round 4, everybody. Let's go down and have some fun. I will see you there. Get hyped. Toss them into chat. Does anybody at the shop play Living End? Yes, Coleman plays Living End, though he's been on Blue Steel recently. Shannon, it's been so long. Welcome back. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. I'm almost certain, and I do apologize if that's not true. Part of it is that I haven't been here for ages, so maybe that's it. But nonetheless, welcome. It is a pleasure having you here, and you are the best. You are just the best around, and nothing's ever going to keep you down. That's the way that it is. That's the fact that I'm dropping. Those are just true things that you are going to have to learn to deal with. Jund, what fringe deck is this? Good point. Jund versus blue-white control, always interesting. I do think that Jund is going to be favored. The power of Liliana is huge. Yeah, Liliana's going to be just a house. And also, the board wipe's decently effective against Jund, but not hugely. What's the 4 or 5 dice used for? That is for Tarmogoyfs. Ferret, I like it. I like it. Your name is Jared, and you play blue-white decks. Alright, it is going to have to be good. We'll see if Jared can do you proud. Otherwise, Michael, I mean, Jund is going to be giving it a run for its money. We're going to have to see some pretty good card advantage engines. If there's like a Sphinx's Revelation in the main deck for this, that could be a huge benefit. Also, the main deck Spreading Seas could be really good, but this looks to be the more proactive blue-white control decks, which I think are actually the better ones. Some of the Planeswalkers might be able to outvalue this Jund deck as well, like a Gideon Jura, huge in this one. So we will see what we can get out of this. I'm excited about this match. I think it is going to be a solid one to watch. Good pick by Coleman, overall. Shannon with the sub! Thank you so very much. It's a pleasure having you here. You are great and amazing. Welcome back. And just, you're great. You're great. This is a fun fact. I'm slightly biased only because I don't think I've ever known a Shannon that wasn't cool. That's just a fun fact for you. I'm not sure if your name is actually Shannon. If I remember right, it isn't. Maybe I misremember. But the point is that every Shannon I've ever interacted with was just awesome in every way. Welcome back to the Jackal Pup. It's a pleasure to have you here. You didn't get your bolt, you gotta refresh. If you hit refresh. I forget when I said that. We have got a Blood Crypt coming down with a shock. Almost certainly gonna be... Could be holding up Fatal Push Lightning Bolt, but I more expect Hand Disruption here. You need to refresh your page and it'll give us that notification. It is going to be an Inquisition. We see a Spreading Seas, a Cryptic Command, and 3 lands. Wow. Jared's hand, not too great. The 2 Ghost Quarters might be able to stop a little bit, but Michael might just start dropping down Tarmogoyfs in the meantime, and that Cryptic Command is not going to be relevant for another few turns. With only 1 mystery card, it is going to be difficult to operate here. We don't have lists, unfortunately. We are unable to collect them. This is just a, regular REL event. Only lands in hand now. We're down to 16. We've got a land, and I think we are running out of options. Michael just going for a Raging Ravine. Now Jared on the land game. 3 lands available. We will see what can happen, but if Michael is able to just apply enough pressure, there's not going to be much that Jared can do. That being said, Jared might be able to just draw into a Supreme Verdict and sweep the field. But yeah, we do not have... it's a twice weekly local event. We actually do these tournaments throughout the week. We aren't able to collect deck lists for them, unfortunately. We are looking into or keeping our ear to the ground for ways in the future to be able to do so, but currently it is just not something that is actually feasible to for us to do in any kind of way that would do the job well. What if we just put that back like that? Perfect. Nailed it. Okay. I know. Michael's playing the Tarmogoyf behind, and I'm hoping he moves it up to the front. Because every time that I open the door for it, he gets bothered. We are going to go for a Path to Exile on this Tarmogoyf. Now that it is off the battlefield, I don't need to worry about it.
I know.
You're the best, Michael. Thank you. That's actually why I didn't say anything. He's... Oh, goodness. Alright, so we've got the tapped land and another Tarmogoyf join the battlefield. Oh, Michael. You're the best. Down to 15 after taking a little bit of damage from this mana base. Oh, goodness. You prefer lands in front. Honestly, I don't mind what you do when I'm playing against you, and I don't care what you do if it's... But, like, from coverage perspectives, when I've got a bunch of different things that I need to keep track of, having the ability to just snap a look at the field and see what's happening on the board is hugely beneficial to me. So, it's something that actually does help out a lot. Mere Reflection, your name is actually Reflection. I'm surprised that you're judging that one. You gotta, I mean, I get the old, like, flavor reason for having them behind your lands, but yeah. What's the card in hand for Jared? I don't know. I don't know what the card in hand for Jared is. We've got a nice hit coming in with a 4/5. It's a mystery card at the moment, and we'll see what we can do. We're going for a fetch here down to 15. Doro, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. It's good to see you. Dennis as well. Hello to everybody who is joining. It's a pleasure having you all here. Wow, there's 232 of you, which is pretty impressive. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. If you haven't yet, hit that follow button. Otherwise, just welcome. Welcome to the stream. It's great to see you. My name's TJ. We do the stream 3 times a week, every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Are we going to come to GP Sao Paulo? No, unfortunately not. I've got 2 others lined up for today. Hello from Mount Vernon. Valdor, it's good to see you. Are you going to come down for our Modern 1K tomorrow? It should work when you refresh the Jacopub. Hopefully we'll get one. Namachili, it's good to see ya. Oh, interesting. Parathion2992, thank you so much for that follow. It's a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much. Welcome to the chat. Just couple of quick things, not to you, but to everyone in general. Interacting in this chat is incredible. Questions, comments, and feedback, always more than welcome. I hugely appreciate it. Interacting with all of you is incredibly huge to me because building this community is like the most fun thing about this for me. I do love commentary. I love doing this. It's becoming a massive passion in my life. But interacting with all of you is a huge portion of that, so your interaction is always welcome. Just a quick couple of things that we do like to keep it family friendly. I believe this should be a stream that anybody can watch anytime with anyone around. So, thank you so much for keeping within those parameters. It is a pleasure having you here. And thank you, Valdor. I do appreciate that. We've got a couple of Raging Ravines out for Michael, sitting on 6 land. That's a lot for a Jund deck with no pressure on the board. Jared did get a Supreme Verdict, has 2 Ghost Quarters up to handle those Raging Ravines, which means that they aren't as effective as attackers. And Michael dropping down a Tasigur in Jund. Now that is not normal in a deck that is also running Dark Confidants. So this is interesting. Southern, I do truly appreciate that. What exactly is a 1K? A 1K is a 1K means $1,000 in prizes. That is what it means. We're going to lose a Huntmaster. We are going to lose an Inquisition. We're going to get back one of these cards. It is the Inquisition that we are getting back. Am I usually alone when commentating? Nope, but I've done it enough that I've kind of gotten used to it. So, Michael draws into a land right now. We've got Abrupt Decay out, which he can use to take down that Detention Sphere if he needs to. Might also just go for the Dark Confidant as well. But yeah, it's $1,000 in prizes. Not all going to the person in first, but yes. The Jackapup with the sub! Thank you so much for subscribing. You did get your notification. You did get your bolt. Let it ring throughout the world. What format is tomorrow? It is Modern. If you intend to come and hang out with us, it begins at noon, and I highly recommend that you check out GeekFortressGames.com to book the you can register for it ahead of time, and I highly recommend that you do so. I don't know the exact numbers because I'm not the owner of the store, but it has apparently been popular. So if you can, I recommend that you do. If you can make it down. And Wall of Omens coming down on this. That's too bad, Cow and a Pie. I'm not sure if we do have any of the Devoted Company out there. There have been some floating around, but I'm not sure if there are any in the field tonight. We'll have to fly out Zach to come play his here. He did so well in Vegas that we'll have to have him come down. Thank you, I appreciate that. I don't think that I'm going to be going down to that one. I'm looking at trying to do an international one in the future, but not this year. I do believe that there is some Eldrazi-tron in the field, or at least there's someone that was playing Eldrazi-tron on Wednesday. So, Detention Sphere is lost. The Tasigur hits the battlefield. It is that big ol' 4/5, and we are looking to activate that as well, getting back the Abrupt Decay, which can take down the Wall of Omens, which did already draw a card. Jared with only 2 lands available. He does have an Inquisition as well. I will, Greg. It's Adam who's playing it. So, we are going to just attack into it, saving this Abrupt Decay. I kind of like the patience on that one. Still at 15, Michael at 14, not deciding to get in that swing for 4 without desperately needing to. Just saving the plays for when he needs to, keeping up that mana when available. Drops down a Dark Confidant, which is going to really help Michael grind in with some value against Jared. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, isn't that kind of the point of them, though? Cow and a Pie? Like, not in all those, but having blacks like discard being valuable against that style of control sounds like exactly what they were supposed to do. In my opinion, is blue-white or Jeskai better for control decks? I would say that blue-white is better for a strictly control deck. Fact or fiction, it's the uncontested best color. I would say fact. Loose fact, though. I don't think it's completely uncontested, but it is probably the best color in Modern right now. I don't think that it's enormously, I don't think that it's at all uncontested, but it's certainly pretty good. Inquisition, and we're just going to fire off a Sphinx's Revelation in response, drawing 5 cards. What's the win condition? Colonnades, Gideons, and Elsbeth is what I've seen. we are going to draw 5 cards here, putting that back down, and that is some good card advantage suddenly. Now we are able to take a look at that and take out one of these, able to take out either the Wall of Omens or the Path to Exile. Does hit that one, so that the Inquisition can then hit the Wall of Omens, so that the Thoughtseize can hit the Supreme Verdict. Jeez, do we have another one in hand as well? Did we just fire that off and then Michael is gonna oh my goodness. Do you have another one in hand as well? No. Okay, so we are leaving up the one Cryptic Command. Jeez, that was insane. Oh, man. That was crazy. What a hit. Gained some life and then got a smack in with the Raging Ravine while Jared was tapped out. And just kicks the turn back. Michael untapping now. There is a Cryptic Command in Jared's hand that Michael is going to need to contend with. Could end up drawing into a Thoughtseize, something of that nature. But he hits a Dark Confidant instead. Why does no one play Abzan? People do play Abzan, actually. Jund, like, the big issue right now is that between the two, Abzan has been a little bit more popular than Jund, though Jund is back. It generally depends on how good either Path to Exile or Lightning Bolt is in the given format. Woo! Be nice, Alexis Bros. Okay. So, we do have a Cryptic taking down that Dark Confidant. We do still have a Terminate and an Abrupt Decay and a Lightning Bolt for Michael. Because of that, he could try and fire this off, but I think he's trying to not to have those Ghost Quarters become active. Okay. Ooh, look at that lightning. I'll toss in some lightning. I do love me some lightning. Gideon of the Trials coming down, which is just in my mind a awesomely cool thing. I love it. I think it's pretty sweet. Let's see. I mean, Diovan Karma, they don't know. They're just asking. They're curious. I don't mind it. It's not a problem. And a Maelstrom Pulse takes that down. Okay. So, at 16, at 12. Goodness gracious. The Maelstrom Pulse takes that down. So, I don't know. I mean, the question's all the same, Dio. I certainly don't mind it. But, okay. Wall of Omens out in the battlefield. A Scavenging Ooze out on the battlefield for Michael. And there's a lot of cards to exile. That's also going to be valuable against Snapcaster Mages. This is going to be interesting. What impact do I think Solemnity will have on Modern? Let's turn that towards the chat. Chat, how do we feel about Solemnity? Did he not activate Gideon before playing Jace? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Well, it was on 4. It starts off on 4, doesn't it? No, it starts off on 3. Hold on. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, he did. Okay, it does start at 3. We did have it activate. Alright, so the chat's hitting in their questions. I like this. We do have Supreme Verdict. We've got all kinds of stuff. And I think we're just looking to exile a few of these spells, getting rid of all the things that you don't want to get hit off of a Snapcaster Mage at the moment. Eating them up with the Supreme Verdict on the stack. That's it. Thank you. It was on the Raging Ravine. Is cracking your fetch line but not getting a land? No, it is not illegal. You can absolutely do that. The card defines, like, it defines something, and you have no guarantee. Like, there is nothing saying you do not have to prove that you have lands or don't have lands in your library. It says grab a land, and there is no way for your opponent to know. Even if they just searched your library, they can't prove that you have lands in there. So you can absolutely crack a fetch land and get nothing. Absolutely you can. It is only with cards that say get a card that you obviously have a card in your library. But anything that actually defines, you have no obligation to prove that you either do or don't have a land. Liliana comes down, gets hit by a negate from Jared. The board is back to medium. We've got Raging Ravines out, but there are Ghost Quarters as well, and I like this Michael attacking with the least critical Raging Ravine right now. Absolutely. I mean, best play in Dread just to surgical your own card? Sounds like a fun play. I'll give it that. What's up, Dan Bopes? Dan Bopes, were you involved in the update to the Joe Cool facts? That is super cool. I noticed that we do have that. You used to just put in a link. I have a distinct feeling that you were involved. If so, everybody, can we all do something really cool right now? Michael is untapping right now, but if you are unaware, MTG Bot, the bot that is used across all Magic streams, every Magic stream, if they're not using MTG Bot, they should be. Dan Bopes is the creator, curator, and brain behind it. Can we all get some hype for Dan Bopes for what they do? That bot makes every stream better and amazing, and it helps what we do. So we've got a Snapcaster out for Jared, taking a look at this library, and we have got a fetch in as well. But seriously, everybody, can we just get some hype for Dan Bopes? Like, what they do is just make streams better. Dan Bopes, you have done fantastic things for the Magic world. Okay. So we are, I think, casting a... Jeez. We're at 15, untapping, drawn to a Spreading Seas, lots of land in hand. What happened? I believe we are going to be seeing an attack for 2. What happened is that we are now in the grindiest matchup possible. So we've got some Spreading Seas onto these Raging Ravines. They are no longer functional as creature lands. Yeah. A Lightning Bolt just taking it down. Michael at 10, Jared at 15, and the tide is starting to turn. In this game 1. It's a hit for 4. A Terminate takes it down. We've got a tapped Colonnade hitting the battlefield now. Jeez, we've got Detention Spheres in hand, which is going to make threats difficult for Michael. An Abrupt Decay on one of these Spreading Seas to make sure that he can still actually attack with it. So now he does have an active Raging Ravine. Now we are going to untap and probably going to try. I do think that that's... I think he could have hit that over, say, the Path to Exile or something. Sure. We've got a decent hit coming in. We're back down to 15 because apparently I missed some... Oh, they didn't adjust the life total from the Sphinx's Rev. Got it. Okay. So we're back down to 15 from this. The Colonnade comes in. Michael is going to fall down to 6. The Ghost Quarter still available. Serum Visions from Jared closing in on the win here. Puts one card on top, the other on bottom. I think that was the Colonnade, just in case Michael draws an answer in the form of Fatal Push, Terminate, anything like that. Otherwise, Michael is running out of time. He's at 5 against a Celestial Colonnade. That is technically his 2 hits, but likely won't need all of them. And Jared has got untapped mana and a way to answer that Raging Ravine. And I think we... Ooh. I think we just failed to find on a fetch land. Jeez. Well, that's unfortunate. That's one way to lose Revolt. Oh no. Okay. Goodness. This game 1 is, I think, close to the end. Ghost Quarter is now a strip mine. In theory. Or it just means that he only has a basic mountain, but that's pretty unlikely. I don't expect a basic mountain to be in the deck, though it's not unheard of. If you're in a more aggressive meta, I have certainly heard of Junta players running basic mountains, not because of the Blood Moon, because obviously, but just because having the ability to fetch painlessly for a red source can actually have its own benefits. Okay. Well, what's up, legendary Nico? How you doing? We have got a giant Tarmogoyf that is going to get answered. And, or just doesn't even need to be, Jared takes the win, putting Michael down to dead. Wow. Jared, game 1 going in that favor. We might almost just see a, I mean, if game 2 looks anything like game 1, we might almost see a win in 1. What a game. What a grind fest. Goodness. You may, aw, thank you. That's super nice of you to say. I love doing it. I want to keep doing commentary. It is my hope to eventually, I would love to do commentary here as well as some commentary for one of those larger streams. That is the eventual goal. We'll see if I'm ever able to achieve that. In the meantime, I'm just having so much fun here that I'm pretty happy. I'm happy to be a part of this community. I'm happy that you are all willing to be a part of this community with me. And certainly, this stream doesn't exist without all of you, so thank you. Let's see. You've missed the first 3 rounds? Fun fact, the first round didn't exist because, I'll be honest with you, at around 3 o'clock today, it's super sunny here in Washington. I had my windows open in my apartment and I was feeling good, but it was like really warm, right? So I sat down on my couch for just a moment and then I woke up and I missed round 1. So then I got here. And so for round 2, we had actually the same blue-white control up against Merfolk, as well as another backup. And then for round 2, we were actually able to see a Zada Hadron Grinder heroic deck up against Obzon. What's up, Blackground Vargas? It's good to see you. Yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad. I think I might have still needed some sleep from Vegas, because like I never actually did recover from that, because I got back at like 3 and then went to sleep. So I think I might have just gotten hit by that in that nice weather. Main deck Mirror Crusader, you can do it. It really depends on your game plan. I don't really like it in a deck that's not, if it's only just for the protection from black and from green, your meta doesn't have a whole lot, and it doesn't do a whole lot for like what your game plan, then I wouldn't really love it. But from the perspective of if it fits within your deck's game plan and if it does have value in that show, like even in something like an Obzon deck, I could see the card being excellent. Then yeah, I think main deck Mirror Crusader is certainly not bad. I wouldn't go so far as to call it incredible, but it's a little bit of like almost pre-board tech against the shadow decks. You finally recovered from your... Nice. Okay, Zach, I'm glad to hear that. It was awesome. It was really cool getting to hang out with you in Vegas, so thank you for joining us for all that. It was a lot of fun. When does not simply recover from Vegas? I did my best. I did my best. Alright. Coolest thing that happened in Vegas. Go. D-Made KO, thank you so much. Coolest thing that happened in Vegas. I got to... Okay, two things. It's a tie. I got to meet people. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. You're amazing. I'll thank you more in a moment. But the 2 coolest thing were that I got to meet some of the viewers, which was phenomenal. And also that they did the announcement of me being on the pre-release, which is hugely exciting to me. So those are the 2 coolest things for me. UHC Gaming, DKK, thank you for pushing that follow button. It's a pleasure having you here. Welcome to the stream. What round is this? This is round 4. We missed round 1, but we have seen Blue White Control, we've seen Merfolk, we've seen Abzan, we've seen Azada, Hadron Grinder, Heroic Deck. Cooked Chestnuts, thank you so much for hitting that sub button. That is amazing. Using your Twitch Prime, I appreciate that. That's amazing. You get 1 free sub per month. Using it here means a lot to me. There's so many amazing channels on Twitch. Using it here is a huge compliment. Thank you so much for that. Coleman drove to Vegas. He did drive to Vegas, but that was mostly just to because it was cheaper. So he and a couple others all piled into a car and made it happen. Thank you so much for the donation, by the way. That 5 donation is hugely kind of you. I appreciate that. You are delightful and wonderful, and that's real kind of you. You run Chameleon Colossus in your white and green soldiers in Modern? Nice. Annabeth858, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's a pleasure having you here. You are a rock star. Welcome to the Geek Fortress stream. I hope you enjoy your time here. We do the stream 3 times a week, and I cannot wait to see you more in the future. Oh no! That's okay, we'll have to catch up at a different event, right? But that's awesome, I hope you did well in your event. The Inquisition hits the Path to Exile, but we've got 3 Cryptic Commands and 3 lands in this hand. Wow! That is quite a hand. That is crazy. You got Modern Elves and the Abzan Coco deck done. Now you have over 10 decks to play. Congratulations, that is fantastic. That's a lot of Cryptic Commands. Thoughtseizes are going to be good. Inquisition in hand right now. Doesn't have a whole lot of value. I think this Dark Confidant is the play. You're broke. Can you still be delightful? Absolutely you can be. Just being here, supporting us by just, like, joining us here is super kind of you. Thank you for being here. Absolutely you can. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. That's super nice of you. I hope you had... Sounds like you had a good time. So, that's super cool. That's not too shabby. Alright, that's pretty funny actually. And Dark Confidant joining the battlefield. I think Michael is assuming that it's not going to live too long. If it does, he'll probably move it forward though. We'll see what he does. And we're going to take 2 for this Tarmogoyf, falling down to 13. Oh, really? I did not know that. Did not know that. And we're going to move this up, and it's an attack for 2. Honestly, I don't blame him too much. It's just what he does. So, I certainly don't blame him for it. Now he got there. He caught up with it. What do I think of Bone Picker in these decks? Honestly, I think the Bone Picker is unplayable in just about everything except limited, but that's just me. Tarmogoyf coming down to the field. Bring to Light, Scape Shift. What would I play? Would I play the deck? Hold on. I'm not sure. Would I play the deck currently? It depends. It's certainly not the most competitive deck right now, but that's not like a huge downside. The problem is that Modern is so wide open that if you know the deck really well, then you can just hedge. Like, if you know your matchup, the benefit is that most people don't know how to play against Bring to Light, Scape Shift because they don't run into it very often. So you could have a benefit there. We're not going to take any damage off of that Dark Confidant. Seeing a land off of it, draws his card for turn, gets a little bit of card advantage, and Jared is still on 3 lands, has 3 Cryptic Commands and 3 mystery cards, going for a Liliana of the Veil. If this can start plussing, that is going to be pretty beneficial. It looks like Jared has got no way to get around it at the moment, and we could see an attack. How can I not like Bone Picker? Because it's not that good. That would be my answer. Okay. So So I think we're getting ready to remove one of these creatures, but that does not appear to be the case. Michael with an active Liliana against blue-white control is huge. Jared passes the turn back, doesn't have triple blue for these cryptics just yet because there is a basic plains as well as a ghost quarter. However, Jared could get the triple blue by ghost quartering one of his lands to be able to go get a basic island and have that, but that would also mean setting himself back a land and going down to 3. Which could be problematic. Cooper, thanks so much for hitting that follow button. It's a pleasure having you here. If I mispronounced your name, I apologize. Please pretend as if I had said it right. Replace your memory with me saying it correctly, and that is what we will do. Let's see what we've got. Bring to light. Yeah, the Black Splash does actually add a lot, so you can definitely do good stuff. I mean, you're running good cards. Inquisition coming down, and we see another Jace and the last Cryptic. No! Wow! What a hand! Another 3 Cryptics still and a Jace Architect of Thought. Goodness gracious. We're gonna fetch here. Michael just passes the turn back. Let's see if, and we do now have double blue. We are likely going to see, oh, and actually that's what Jared is doing. Jared is going for a Cryptic command here. The downside being that if you don't find a land, then you're just dead. Interesting. We're just going to draw a card, bounce the Liliana, untap. Do we have the land? Yes, we do. And I think we're just going to hold up a Cryptic command at this point. Is this in response to the attack? No, that was at the end step, from what I could tell. I think we are going to... The problem is that at this point, you're trying to... Did we draw Supreme Verdict? Of course we did. Nice. The Liliana will still be on the battlefield. Ooh. And we are going to Kolaghan's command to buy back the Tarmogoyf and get a discard out of this. We're losing one of these, and next turn we're going to see Tarmogoyf and a Liliana plus. That is going to be big. Our Saturday night event goes for 5 rounds? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That's pretty good. Whew. Alright, we're going to fetch as well down to 11, and now we are in a little bit of trouble. Also, remember, tomorrow, Modern 1K. It's beginning at noon Pacific time. There will be a Modern 1K. How much time is left in the round? 13 minutes, from the look of it. Oh my goodness, I just realized that I actually have eaten nothing today. I will have to see if I can get an assist on that one. When is it? It is at noon Pacific time tomorrow. Let's see. There we go. Breakfast is important? Yeah, it was. And I intended to eat before the stream, but then I slept through round 1. So, that's unfortunate. Liliana up to 4. 2 cards left in Jared's hand. A Tarmogoyf on the field at 5. And we're going to see a Cryptic trying to tap the team. And that is a Thrun in Michael's hand. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So the Thrun is up. Am I excited about the pre-release? Yes, I am so excited. Yes, I am so very excited. I am hyped. It is going to... Oh, man, I can't believe it. So Michael takes game 2, and Jared is looking to win a quick game 3 as we move into it. Not a whole lot of time left on the clock, but probably about 10 minutes once things actually kind of get going. we'll see what we can do for these players. Just run and done. You're going to a modern revised box tournament next weekend. Any advice on what deck to play? What are you best at? Like, what do you have the most practice with? Yeah, I actually got invited, Cryptic Remand. I am going next weekend. Ash Zealot and Hanwar Garrison are probably the best red humans. I love Ash Zealot. I played that card for a while. I've even played that card in Modern before in a mono red deck. It was a lot of fun because there were a lot of Snapcasters at the time, and being able to don't make them take 3 just to go for it. Where is the Modern Revised tournament? I don't know. Good question. What's up, Techno Squirrel? It's good to see you. How you doing today? How are you doing on this beautiful, beautiful day? Maybe there is like a red-white humans deck in existence somewhere in the card pool. Goodness. Once Soul Warden is the best one. Nice. Once here. I'm not really sure what. I gotta get a snack. I'm like dying suddenly. Red, White, Norn Sisters. Man, that card is so cool. Sorry, I just spaced from not eating today. I should eat. I sent a request for some food. We'll get there. We will get there. You'd be there if you weren't going to the Invitational. Nice. Very nice. But yeah, what deck are you most familiar with, Shannon? I'm just curious. Get a pizza? I'm actually going to go get pizza after doing commentary tonight, so that's a good guess. Though I tend to do pizza on Saturday nights and go out with some friends and have some pizza and have some fun. I thought Zulapur Cutthroat was the best human. That's a good one. That is a good one. Red Baron needs food badly. What gauntlet? Wait, there's a gauntlet? Whatever happened to Frontier? I don't know, it was firing all weekend, more than Standard was. What do I think of this deck to play with 2 copies of Porphyry Nodes? It could do it. It could. Absolutely in the sideboard I could see it. In the main deck it's probably playable. What do I think? Or whatever happened to Frontier? It will happen eventually. The problem is that there wasn't enough popularity. People are happy with what they're playing. You're bad at every deck? Fair enough. Fair enough. I would personally be playing... I still think that Living End is in a surprisingly good position right now. Gauntlet is an old video game. Gotcha. Did not know that. Another lane coming down from Michael. Tapped. Not a whole lot of activity happening right now. And we've got a Spreading Seas on one of the 2 that is now an island. Letting them claim it, though it is technically untapped, just dead. Just dead. Red-Black land coming down. We do have a Kitchen Finks in hand and a Maelstrom Pulse. Could theoretically Maelstrom Pulse the Spreading Seas, but that doesn't seem fantastic. Feedback is my friend. It is good to see you. Hello, hello. That sounds sweet. That is a Gideon of the Trials hitting the battlefield. Let's see if we end up just going for the 0 ability. Nope, you're going to just plus on the land. We're going for the counters, apparently. Huh. Alright. Your LGS made Frontier from N15 to the current because it's dominated by Rhino decks? Okay, that sounds fun. I hear you. I hear you, but yeah, the new Gideon pluses to prevent all damage dealt to and from target permanent until the beginning of your next turn, or until your next turn. 0 to get an emblem that says that you can't lose, your opponents can't win as long as you have a Gideon on the battlefield, and a 0 which lets you turn Gideon into a 4/4 creature until end of turn. Abrupt Decay the Spreading Seas, get the mana back, drop in a Kitchen Finks, which is resilient to these board wipes, and go up to 22. It is going to be a nice attacker, though it's likely going to get plussed on by this Gideon. Looks like we are missing some land drops, so that would explain why Jared is going to go for a Snap Serum Visions. Needs to try and start summoning some lands. We've got a land on top as well as the Serum Visions. And looks like we don't want the Serum Visions, we do want the land. Michael does have a Thrun in hand, so if he can, he's probably going to try and be patient enough to wait until he has 6 mana to go for it if he has other plays to make. Having the ability to regenerate that through Supreme Verdict will be huge. Michael could end up firing off the Thrun and then just getting it hit by the Supreme Verdict, however. Alright. So, Torrential plus Dig Through Time, I mean, that does sound pretty sweet. Maelstrom Pulse coming down on the Gideon. And you're just typing this so that TJ will read it out loud. You're welcome. I got you. Another lane coming down for Jared. Supreme Verdict not looking too good. Michael did show some patience on this Thrun. We also do have a Liliana on the battlefield. The Gideon is gone. We've got Cryptic Commands and Maelstrom Pulses. I think it might be on Michael to just keep trying to wait for some of that mana at the moment. Looks like a Jace Architect of Thought coming down. We could see a plus, a minus ability. Will give Jared the ability to find some more lands, however. And that could be pretty beneficial right now. Looks like we are going to go for a plus, actually. So we are no longer able to... this Kitchen Finks does attack for 2 at the moment. Has the new Gideon been? This is the only time that I've really seen it in Modern. Done, Black Iron Barkus. Liliana comes down, hits the Snapcaster. It's an attack for 2 at the... Jace, which is down to 3. Michael drops down a Grafdigger's Cage to shut down Snapcaster. So Michael with a Liliana on 1, a Grafdigger's Cage, and a Kitchen Finks. Jared minuses the Jace. We do see, looks to be Blessed Alliance, Celestial Colonnade, and a Hallowed Fountain. Oh no, that's a Path to Exile. So Path to Exile and 2 lands, separating the spell against the lands. Jared gonna have to choose. Takes likely the land. Graph does stop the persist. We will see if that happens. Might try and be patient though. Yep. Finks doesn't persist.
What?
Finks doesn't persist.
What are you talking about?
There's a Grafdigger's Cage on the battlefield.
I know.
And I know, but he just brought it back after a verdict.
He did not cast Verdict.
Oh, my bad.
He's discarding it.
That's my bad. I'm sorry.
Discarding the
I'm the worst today. Oh, Coleman. Related to my distractedness. Can you check your text? But mostly I'm asking first.
My phone is dead.
Oh, can I get like 2 snacks? I forgot that I took it today. Oh god, I'm the worst right now. I'm sorry. Gotta get my head in the game. I can like feel my face right now. Any interesting decks at the event today? There is a Zada Hadron Grinder. There's a Zada Hadron Grinder heroic deck, but it ended up losing on stream. Okay. I'm like dying right now. Thank you. Whew. Alright, now I gotta power through this right now. Fair enough, MTG Pack Pose. I'm gonna devour this for a moment. I'm gonna dance, but we've got a Kolaghan's Command. Will we respond to it? Alright, so we're going to counter that and draw a card. I'm starving, Jesse, but otherwise I'm fantastic. Sweeps the Tassiger and the Kitchen Finks. And we're on turn 2. We are on turn 2 right now. Goodness gracious. So, the cage is out. The Liliana is on the field, but I think we're going to have a drawed match here. Drawn, whatever. Thrun. The Thrun champ has hit the battlefield. Have fun, mostly lost. It's good to see you. Sorry that I'm starving. Here. Thank you so much, UFO. I appreciate that. We're in turn 3 now. Hit for 4. Blessed Alliance. No! No! That is brutal. And that is going to be a draw. That is a draw here in round 4, but we have got round 5 to go. I will see you up there. Welcome to the Geek Fortress stream. We stream 3 times a week. My name is TJ. It's awesome having you here. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that follow button. Join us in the future. I was starving. Now I'm just going to finish this up, and then we will keep on going for round 5. The Geek Fortress website is slow. This is the first that I've heard of this, actually. T. Forbes, it's great to see you. I'm doing well. I was starving. I'm feeling much better suddenly after powering through 2 candy bars. Cryptic Remand. I will mention that to Dylan, actually. We have not had that problem previously. Hopefully, well, it doesn't. If you're able to watch the stream, then I doubt that it's your browser. So I have not heard of this problem as of yet. What slow in what sense? Is it the entirety of the website that you were having trouble with? If you could, please either send a whisper to Red Baron MTG if possible. Here comes 800 calories. Calories, I just kind of power through those. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. So, I've not noticed any issues on it. But thank you for letting me know.
So our last round's up.
Thank you. I appreciate you letting me fire through the 2 of those real fast.
No problem.
Could you apologize to Jared for me? I keep, like, missing stuff. Because I've just been like, I'm real hungry. Oh.
I will. So we have our finals opponent. It's Jared versus Adam, who's on Tron. Or we could watch literally anything else.
Oh, Drowsytron?
No. Green-White Tron.
Dope. It's
Alright,
been so long since we've had that.
I was going to say, I'll see if they're down to actually come on before I get over there.
That's fair. We have had Jared on 3 times.
Yeah,
so
that's why. I just wanted to see if the chat wanted something different.
If there's something else, I trust your judgment.
Okay, because the second table is me versus Michael.
Could also be interesting. I trust your judgment.
Okay, let's see what's going on.
Okay, you've got to know, am I going to be forcing red for even the pre-release? Probably not. I'm going to do my best not to. I really want to. But I'm going to do my best not to. It's going to be real hard not to, though. Oh, no, we'll see. Yep, it is Tron. It's a green-white Tron. Play mono blue flyers. Love to see me deck build that. Oh, I can deck build mono red anytime. It's not good, but it's fun. It's gonna be fun. That's at least what I've got going for me. All right, who's excited for round 5? Round 5, this is the last one. Who won the Blue Eye Control? It was a draw. Please no Tron, but Tron's sweet. You really want to see the chat if I'm the featured builder enforcing red? I am not the featured builder. I am not the featured builder. There is some, like, one of the guests has absolutely every right to be the featured builder. I will say that. Anyone playing humans? I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure. Okay. So send a hold on. I got you, Cryptic Remand. Send a message to info@geekfortressgames.com. Info@geekfortressgames.com. Send an email and just let him know your DCI number and that you would like to register for the event. Fair. What do you mean, what happened? If you mean what happened down on camera, we had a draw in the last round. If you mean what happened in the booth is I was starving, and that, you know, happened, so then I got it. Me moving my arm off camera looks really bad? Like that, or that? I don't entirely... Whatever. Okay, so... let's see here. Do I think Magic would be healthier if Chalice was worded like Iona? Or if Iona was worded like Chalice? What do you mean? What's up, Bad Johnny? It's good to see you. Let's see. I don't know what you mean if Magic would be healthier if worded like Iona. I don't... Oh, do you mean can't cast versus counter? Gotcha. No, I'm fine with them both being as they are. I've certainly got some prowess triggers through a Chalice countering my spells. So, let's see what we can do. If you can play and yeah, I think it's all about the same. How was the barbecue? Fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic to go to that. I was able to see some friends that I haven't seen for quite some time, so that was real nice. Overall, I'm hyped. It was nice. It was kind of weird not streaming last night. I do feel bad about that one, but going to the barbecue, it was some people that I haven't seen in over a year. So it was
Sorry
real
about that.
nice.
Just had some issues with repairing.
Cool. Did you apologize for me?
I did.
Okay. What did he say?
He said I would have done the same thing.
Okay.
All right. It is going to be Jared versus Adam.
Okay, I appreciate his understanding.
Yeah,
Will you
no
tell
problem.
him he's also a champion for me?
I will tell him.
Chat's been rooting for him pretty hard.
All right.
Okay. Yep. I'm fine with them being the way that they are. Iona being a giant creature, like, not being able to cast them is certainly more powerful, and I'm okay with that on a giant angel. But I think that Chalice just countering them is pretty cool. I'm okay with them as they are. Valdor, thank you so much for the follow. It's a pleasure having you here. Remand Cryptic, I didn't see something confirming that you got the email. If you need it, let me know. Mr. Zorukai, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's a pleasure having you here. You are a rock star. And let me know if you heard that email or if you need me to say it again. I'd love for you to be at the event tomorrow, and I want to make sure you can get there. Unstable Brain, thank you so much for the follow. It's a pleasure having you here. I saw that you were also now hosting me, so thank you for that. You are great. Welcome to the stream, and I hope you are having a wonderful time. My name's TJ. Stick around. Just as a quick reminder to all, we do like to keep this chat family friendly. So, welcome and have a great time. Questions, comments, feedback, always welcome. We just got to remember to have some fun with what we do. Like, thank you for keeping it family friendly, and also remember that the players are people at the end of the day. So we do like feedback. Welcome to them. Just keep it positive towards constructive criticism as opposed to destructive. Let's head on down. I'll see you there. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining. You chose pay in store. How does that work? It now shows as there's an order in the system, so you will be fine. Good. There's a thing tomorrow? Yes, there's a modern 1K tomorrow. We do have the Wormcoil engine in hand. Cryptic Remand, you chose pay in store. Yep, you'll be fine. You'll have to pay in store. That's basically it. It'll be pretty simple. Control versus control. You are correct. You are correct. I like Tron. We're going to kick things off with an Ancient Stirrings for Adam. Now Jared with 2 lands out, a Susto Colonnade, and a fetch land. That should work. I will tell you what, though. Let's see here. Go ahead and just send an email explaining it to that one just to be safe, but you should be fine. But Cryptic Remand, you should be fine. Just toss an email over to there saying, I chose pay in store, it's me and my buddy. You'll be fine. I fully expect you to be fine there. So a Sylvan Scrying from Adam is going to find another piece of Tron. We're at 2 out of 3 right now. Now Jared on 2 lands at the moment, going for a tapped Hallowed Fountain, falling down to 19. It is going to be tricky. Tron, pretty favored in this matchup. We also do have that Wormcoil Engine in hand, which is going to be nice, though Path to Exile does lessen its effectiveness. That Karn, however, is going to be pretty excellent as it starts to plus on Jared's hand to pick that hand apart without Jared having a great way to apply pressure. Spreading Seas taking down the Urza's Tower, however, slowing that down, and we are looking pretty solid. Having buffering issues, we shouldn't be. I can certainly check some of our numbers. I don't think we should be having any buffering issues. Let me know if other people are having that issue, however, and I can certainly do my best. Expedition map comes down to the battlefield. Adam with the ability to find another piece of Tron. If Adam has any redundancy with Tron at the moment, it could be difficult. Looks like we've got a Jace coming down. I would expect it to minus just to try and find more of the card density that you need. But we're actually going to get a plus for the meantime. We might just, if Jared has got the cards that he needs right now, could just be going for the plus that he can continually minus it as it needed. We're going to crack this expedition map. We are finding a land, and let's see what we can do. Well, Tron is a control deck, yeah. Alright, I don't know the answer, Valdor. Sorry about that. No, don't worry about a Cryptic Remand. I'm here to help. That's what I'd like. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The beauty of this stream for me, and hopefully for all of you, is the fact that I get to interact with a freaking incredible community. So, thank you all for just being a part of this with me. And if I can do anything to help, I'm certainly happy to do so. We do have an Ugin in hand as well, alongside a Karn. We do have another Tron land. We've got 4 mana available right now. We're going to drop down, it looks like a Star and a Sphere. Chromatic Star and Chromatic Sphere out on the battlefield. Might start popping one of these just to try and get some green mana and see what we can do with it. Frost Kitty Heart's right back at you. If I could make a heart with my hands, I would. Told ya. Alright, so we're going to pop this one. Probably floating green mana because we have white available from the Razorridge Thicket. Otherwise, not too much. We're going to pop it again. Probably going for green. Looking for an Ancient Stirrings. Finds a Relic of Progenitus. And going to use the floating mana on that one. Saved it up. Able to beat a Snapcaster Mage with this. Let's see here. Met at Jeep. I do remember meeting. I feel like you may have changed your name though, but either way, I'm fairly certain that I do remember that. Let's see. Yes, actually. We were right by the vendors. I think we were right by the vendors there. I forget. No, wait, the vendors were on, they moved the vendors around from a previous year. So I'm trying to remember where they had all the vendors, but I think it was along that wall that's on the left from when you enter in. I think that's where it was. Regardless, I'm fairly certain that I do remember that. If nothing else, I can certainly get a reminder tomorrow. And we've got more Tron coming down, but with 2 Spreading Seas out, Adam's still having a little bit of a problem actually getting it assembled. And this is... the only problem is that Jared has no pressure right now. It's so difficult. Because if Jared had anything, even a Snapcaster Mage right now, then, if Jared had any amount of pressure, this matchup would be different. But Adam, not under any pressure whatsoever right now, means that he can just keep waiting and he can keep biding time, and eventually he can just go for it. I think Adam is debating going for the Oblivion Stone, but without a whole lot of threats. I think he is deciding to wait. I'm not certain I agree with that choice, but that is okay. I think he might just be trying to hold it in hand for now. Yes! Okay, that's it. Okay, I remember that. Absolutely. That was Peter who was playing. Is the plan to win by ulting Jace? Probably. It's a good plan. If you can ult a Jace against this deck, it's pretty good. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Pop in the Relic, looking to dig into this graveyard, draw a card. That's an exile there. We find a chromatic sphere, draw into yet another piece of Tron. The amount of Tron that he has been drawing has been just incredible, firing off a chromatic sphere, and I like the patient here, looking to draw into potentially the right piece of Tron. I think that might be slight redundancy in the pieces. I don't remember all their artworks so incredibly well, but I think if it is different, that looks like a mine. I think he's got 2 mines, which means that he's actually even going to wait and drop in the Sanctum. And we could see 4 mana up, still not dropping the Oblivion Stone, interestingly. But with 6 mana... And we have got just a -3 lands. So we are going to be getting 2 lands. I don't think that it really matters which ones. I think you separate the Expedition. That way, Jared might just go for the Expedition for the showmanship of it. Ooh, okay. Trying to avoid the blue-white, so maybe trying to restrict the ability to get a basic plains off of that? Not entirely certain. As a blue-white control player, you're curious of what the opinion of what matchups you should not side in Spell Quellers from the side. Well, how about it, chat? Let's get some thoughts. What should you not... what decks are Spell Quellers bad against? Another Spreading Seas coming down, but going for an unusual piece here. Goes for the Sanctum to try and stop that card advantage of when you cast, you get another one. Now, that's interesting. And, a little bit surprising to me. I think I might have considered taking out either the green-white or possibly just going for another piece of the Tron lands. Especially if you're, but minusing the Jace means that that's not the game plan. Jared moves to the cleanup and discards a Supreme Verdict as well as a Path to Exile. Has to have another Path to Exile if that's the case, because otherwise we are going to be dropping in a Worm... Oh, the Oblivion Stone is coming down now. And we might be seeing a Cryptic Command take it down. Thoughts on Ensnaring Bridge and the Modern Burn sideboard? I've thought about it. I haven't done it yet. I'm not convinced by it, but I certainly don't think it's wrong. I'm just not certain it's good, because a lot of the decks that I wanted against are also running Kolaghan's Command. So I'm uncertain currently. But it definitely does have some validity to it, and I think that it's not wrong to run it. I'm just not certain if I am going to. Cryptic Command taking that down, drawing a card, keeping that pressure going. Adam on the 3 lanes available at the moment. Does have the ability to cast this Sylvan Scrying, however. I think that is going to be the play, and I don't believe we've made a land drop for the turn just yet, if I remember. But uncertain at the moment. But I think we just need a tower. Yep. Alright, so I think we might be assembling Tron with 5 mana available. Can Adam do anything with it? 5 is kind of an awkward spot for the deck. Not a whole lot to do with that since most of their cards start hitting at 6 with Wormcoil Engine. Interesting. Dropping that in, we've got some mana. And I think he's actually choosing to hold on to it. Dropping in another one, maybe trying to prevent just the possibility of yet another Spreading Seas. If Adam gets to untap, he's going to have a lot of mana. And remember, for all the disruption, 3 Spreading Seas against this deck. For everything that has happened, you have to remember that Adam is in a position to where the second he assembles it, he's back in the driver's seat. And despite the fact that he's been set back so very much, the idea that there's not been any pressure from Jared, Adam's still at 20, the Jace at 2, just Adam's not worried about that much. We're gonna minus it again. We see an Elspeth Sun's Champion. Gonna take the Elspeth, but if they cast it this turn, that could actually end up going fairly unfortunately. Because then Adam can just drop in the Karn to minus it on the Elspeth. And then the only issue there is that the Celestial Colonnade looks pretty good, but it looks like doesn't have to deal with it just yet, so that Karn is still going to be great. A Cryptic Command on top looks to be the choice for that Serum Visions. We do still have more Spreading Seas. My goodness, Jared is going to continue with the Spreading Seas, and actually this Elspeth. Oh, it actually doesn't fire off the Spreading Seas. There's the risk of possibly having to deal with Tron this turn. Which is a huge possible liability. What round is this? This is, oh my goodness, you're right, this is the 5th round. I'm sorry, I didn't update that. Good catch. Good catch. Tron has been assembled. There is a World Breaker in hand. I don't think I would bring in Spell Queller against Tron. It doesn't outclass anything that they do, and it doesn't answer anything that you're afraid of. I don't know. We are playing 5 rounds today. But tomorrow we will likely have 6, and then a cut to top 8. I don't think we'll have 7 rounds. How many people do you need for 7 rounds? Does anybody know? Do you need like 64 to go to 7 rounds? If anybody wants to help me out. I forget what the exact number that you need for that is. Or is it like 32? No, it's got to be more. Okay. So we have got... It's 65 for 7? Okay. So then it will likely be 6 rounds with a cut to top 8. I thought that was the case. World Breaker is going to take down one of the Spreading Seas. So, we are now sitting on a World Breaker. The Spreading Seas has been removed. There's still 2 on the battlefield, but some of Adam's mana has been freed. So what else might we have? Adam could drop in, I think, the Wormcoil Engine. We have the mana for that. Looks like we're tapping a blue mana here, possibly going for the Chromatic Sphere. Looks to be the case. Crack on that one with the Island. I think an Oblivion Stone would be pretty good here too. But Jared, losing most of the ways to apply pressure, just drew the Ulamog. As soon as that Ulamog resolves next turn, that is going to be game over. The double Vindicate on that is going to be incredible. Woo! Exactly. Which means that we will not hit 7. Why isn't it 44? Because we only have place for 42 people to play. If anything, it would be 42 or 43. Like, it seems like that. I don't know. It doesn't strike me as like, because that's what we can fit. Okay. So, would the 1K fire if we only had 8 people show up? Dylan did commit to this one, actually. Dylan did commit to this one. Normally, that's why a lot of stores tend not to do them and just do prizes based on attendance. We've got a minus on this Jace, Supreme Verdict, Ghost Quarter, and a Celestial Colonnade. But that's why you often see them choose to go depending on a Little Blow. Thank you, hello, it's good to see you. Welcome to the Geek Fortress stream. But, that's sort of the situation, is that you don't always... have that go. What is a 1K? $1,000 in prizes. $1,000 in prizes. I think the Jace minus went to the yard. We have got an Ulamog out. I'm not certain it will matter. But I'll see if there's anyone out there. Let's see. The 1K is a 1 kilometer jog. Nice. Very nice. But yeah, it's $1,000 in prizes, and I believe that we're going to lose that. We've got the pile. He seems to... I don't know, he's interacting with the graveyard a little bit. Not entirely certain. But yeah, actually, UFO, the store is not that big. Though, there might be a new store coming up soon. There's an expedition map out, because why not have more of these? There's an Ulamog on the battlefield. More Path to Exiles. Jeez. That is pretty good. That is pretty solid. So, how much is it to buy into a 1K? This event... Am I mirror TJ? What do you mean am I mirror TJ? Don't know. A new location that would be nearby. There's a chance of moving to a new store that would be fairly close by. God, that Path to Exile. That was real good. That was very, very good. Am I the real TJ? I certainly hope so. I'm such a non-nerd. I didn't become a nerd until I was like at the end of my teenage years. I was kind of a nerd up until that point, but like a band nerd. And now, I still have a lot of things to catch up on. So the Ghost Quarter, keeping it down, my goodness. Cost for the buy-in, sorry. I believe it's 25. I believe it is 25. No, I'm not worried about the Goyf. He's been friendly so far. The mirror from Star Trek? Oh, I know that there was a mirror episode, but I haven't seen all of Star Trek, unfortunately. Which is unfortunate. It's possible. I'm not sure if a mirror TJ exists, but I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't want to meet Mirror TJ. Mirror TJ sounds pretty not cool, personally. But that's just an opinion, you know? Am I going to Portland? Yes, I am. I fully intend to go to Portland. I'm excited about it. Should be fun. Should be a good time all around. I don't have a goatee. It's a beard now. What's happening here? It's Tron versus Blue-White Control. Alright. Is that an Altar Caribou range? Yes, it is. It's not. Lots of mana for Adam. It doesn't even matter how many answers Jared has, because Adam has so much inevitability right now. It is just absurd. Bringing all the Tibbles. Thanks, Captain Wolf. It is in, I think, end of November or beginning of December. There's 2 GPs that I'm going to at that time. So we're sitting on tons of mana. Adam feeling pretty good, and I think you just keep slamming threats. Like, you've got 2 cards, so cast them both. Make them have 2 cryptics, and start plussing up. Then just put down a... Like, there's just so much stuff to be done right now. I'm the evil twin. If I'm the evil twin, then I am so interested to see what good TJ is like. Because that's got to be sweet. I would absolutely want to meet good TJ. Though, if I'm evil TJ, I might need to defeat him. Don't know. We are going to go for a Sphinx's Rev, but Adam's showing... I'm not entirely sure why Adam is holding off on this stuff. I don't know. Jesse! Jesse, thank you so much. Is there a cut to top? Not today, but there will be tomorrow. Jesse, thank you so much for hitting that sub. It was so great seeing you again in Vegas. I'm so glad that you're doing well. You're such a good person, such a cool person, and we miss you here. We miss you here. But there's not a cut to top 8 in this one. It's just an event that we do twice weekly, so it's just a regular REL one. But tomorrow's Modern 1K will have a cut to top 8. Right, I know, Jesse, I miss Jesse. I hope that Jesse is one day able to move back, but that's me being selfish. Using that Spreading Seas Island to pop that, finds into a Chromatic Sphere, has a floating mana. Could just use the tons of mana, still floating 1. And we did find that, uses the green on an Ancient Stirrings, but Adam has got so much mana available. And I'm curious as to the patience with all these cards in hand. Adam's got like 4 cards that all win the game on the spot. And not firing off any of them is just surprising to me. But then again, there's another Ulamog. Probably going to use it to take down the 2 Colonnades would be my expectation. Did Coleman tell me about Ant Tiny Fins? No. No, he did not. I didn't get much chance to talk to him yesterday. Can you pay for the 1K event in store? Yes, but I would communicate to Dylan that you will be in the future. I think you can set up a pay in store option through the website. You can also just send him an email or a message on Facebook if you need to. But I would definitely get in touch with him. It's apparently been pretty popular. And a Cryptic command does take it down. We did lose some lands, and we are going to keep on moving up. My goodness. Adam has a cast trigger? He did his cast trigger. Alright, passing it back. Adam's got so much to do, and I'm really curious about the... Of course, it's not even punishing Adam, so I'm curious. I think he's just possibly going for the ultimate patience play and waiting for Jared to try to play one of his win conditions to go for it. Maybe Adam's game plan... You know what? Maybe what Adam is doing is just making quick plays, but just debating that, you know, if he's got time, you just keep playing, you just keep passing, you don't need to. And, but I don't know. Just passes the turn back. Maybe Adam's just looking to win in 1. That would be interesting. Maybe it's just the attempt to win in 1, which does have a certain amount of viability to it. Huh. I'm pretty curious about this. We've got a Gideon coming down. We're going to show this one. It does plus to prevent all damage that we dealt to and by target a permanent. It's got a 0 ability to get an emblem, which says that you don't lose and they can't win as long as you control a Gideon. And it has got the ability to turn into a 4/4 creature that prevents all damage and is also indestructible, I believe. And that is the emblem. Is that an emblem?
Yeah.
I like it. Alright, that's a Gideon emblem. It's a pretty cool one. Alright, we have officially gotten Cool Guy Gideon on the field. Alright, and we're gonna drop down a worm coil engine. Let's see. Get no. Oh no! 3 worm coil engines, and now you can just play out a Karn and minus. Oh goodness gracious! But you might please tell me there's 3 Karns. Show me 3 Karns. We've got a Sylvan Scrying. Oh my goodness. Like, why not just 2? I mean, if you're gonna kill, you might as well overkill. I don't think I've ever seen a detention sphere get such good value. The sunglasses is a Gideon emblem. So, as long as Jared controls a Gideon Planeswalker, he cannot lose and Adam can't win. Does he still have the Ugin? Yes. He does still have the Ugin. He still has the Karn. He's got lots of things going for him. Ugin brings him back. Karn brings him back. He's got all kinds of options. Oh my goodness. Why play the 3rd worm coil engine? I think at this point Adam's just having fun, since it's pretty hard for him to lose this matchup. I think you could have played 2 of them, but having 3 of them does mean that you have a 2-turn clock, and that's kind of nice. Actually, right? Yeah. I guess 2 of them is a 2-turn clock as well. So, all right, we have 1 Karn. Let's see if we can go with another Karn. How many cryptics do you have? At least 1 more, as always. And let's see if we can put down another 3. Taking a look to see what Snapcaster targets might exist. Doesn't look like we've got any that are going to do it. Jared needed 1 more land to be able to snap Cryptic. So we are going to minus this card on the Detention Sphere, probably. Or do you just... yeah. The only downside to... actually, maybe you hit the Gideon first. Because now the Gideon can kill the Karn. But then again, no, wait, it can't, because you have 3 Wormcoil engines. Never mind. Nope, hitting that is a good play. Oh man, Supreme Verdict looks so not good. I never want a Supreme Verdict 3 Wormcoil engines in my life. That sounds miserable, but we might also have Verdict Snap Verdict. Maybe that's the play. Verdict Snap Verdict, but then you still have to deal with the Karn, because that doesn't kill the Karn. But we are going to go for the Verdict. Actually, we do have enough. There is enough mana to go Verdict, Snap, Verdict. Verdict, Snap, Verdict, then attack with the Jace. And he Path to Exiles the Gideon. Oh my goodness. What kind of magic is happening right now? Oh my goodness. I love this. I absolutely love this. This is brilliant. So we've got the sunglasses Jace, Gideon ult with no Gideon on the battlefield. We have got a Karn which is going to be plussing. And Adam, oh my goodness, what a game. I don't even care that it's kind of absurd, but it's great. Oh my goodness. This is just delightful on all kinds of levels. And it's an Ugin too! Let's just start bolting and ripping this hand apart. I love it. Jump77, it's good to see you. Hello. Welcome to the Geek Fortress stream. We're in the middle of some of the most absurd magic I've seen in a while, and I love it. Oh, Adam, I love what you're doing right now. I love it. I love it. Reset it. Reset the game. Reset the game and win in one. Reset it, win in one. Show me that dream. Get a detention... Oh, man. Hold on, does detention sphere say May? Oh, my goodness. Alright, let's get our serum visions going. And we have got the Karn, we've got the Ugin. We're down to 19. Adam is at 16. I really want to see a Karn ult. Oh, man. It is a May effect? Okay, so you wouldn't end up having to hit the Wall of Omens if that's what you have. And Jared just picks him up. Adam's got the win. Wow, what a game. What a game one. Oh. Oh, man. That was delightful. That was delightful. How many cards does Jared have left in his deck? Not enough to win. So, Adam takes game one in a phenomenal fashion. Only about 16 minutes left in this round. What a champ. Okay. Let's see here. Sorry, had to... Who won that game? That would be Adam. Adam crushed that game. Could stack the deck and still lose. Unfortunately, that's not really that wrong. Yeah. Melvin, it's good to see you. Just in time for the end. Here at the end of all things, it's good to have you, Melvin. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I like the idea that we were mulling over. I'm sorry that I didn't end up responding. I ended up taking a completely unexpected nap today. That threw me way off, and I've just been all flustered since, and then I had to get him here and do some commentary. That was a really long game one. Adam was being excessively, not even excessively, just extremely patient. Adam was being so patient with his threats because he was under no pressure whatsoever the entire time. So he just sat there with just Ugins, and he's with an Ugin and a couple of Karns and 3 Wormcoil engines all in hand. Unexpected naps are great. Ooh, disagree. Disagree. Not my thing. Not a big fan of them. Though it was nice. It was nice, but like, naps are weird. Not... Unexpected naps sounds like a card from Unstable. Hey, there's only one way to find out. The new unset is headed our way, and Jared getting ready for game 2. Game 2 with about 15 minutes left. My goodness. I wonder if the... I mean, I'll be curious. I mean, I'm not even sure if Jared can win against Tron at that time frame. It would have to take a pretty explosive start. Maybe just going for Jace plussing right now. Jesse, I do think that plussing the Jace was the correct play. Minusing it when you already have 7 cards in hand just doesn't seem entirely necessary to me. So I think eventually you might get to a point of needing to minus it, but I don't think that that time was then. We've got an Expedition map as well as some Sylvan Scryings. We go for this one if Adam's able to drop down a second land, go for a Sylvan Scrying, then pop the Expedition map. Adam's got a lot of things going on, plus he does eventually have a Ulamog to go for the big swing in, which could be really devastating to Jared, especially if he comes down on something like turn 5. Being able to sweep out 2 of the lands that Jared has control of, putting them back down to 3 can really restrict that. Another land coming down for Jared, and then a pass back. Adam draws into another one, but are we missing lands right now? We are. Adam kept a 1-lander, might get punished. Let's see what happens. He has got to draw into something now. That's not what we're looking for. If he ever does get the mana, that's going to be big, but right now Jared has the ability to start just attacking. So we could start, I mean, if he goes 5 turns with nothing, the Adam has a Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle coming down, naming Gideon of the Trials. And that is so quickly and cleanly eliminated. The amount of Planeswalkers, good bet by Adam to assume that that is going to be good. Nice. So the Pithing Needle takes it down, and we are back at an empty board functionally. We see this, the Cryptic Command taking down an Ancient Stirrings, not something you usually see. Jared untaps, has a 5th land coming down, needs to develop pressure, but has got a golden opportunity to capitalize on this, and it just needs to happen. But Adam continuing to miss, fires off an Ancient Stirrings. Do we have a counterspell? We do not. Gotta find a land here. Bouncing a land would have been a sweet play, absolutely. But we find a Tron land. We're going to take that one, drop it down. We don't have the Bauble anymore, but we are going to probably throw down the Relic, activate it to try and take down that land. It does leave the Cryptic Command, so a Snapcaster still able to go for the Snap Cryptic, and a Glimmer of Genius from Jared. Not a card I'd expect. 4 mana, instant. Draw to, scry 2, draw 2, gain 2 energy. Is there even any energy in the deck to capitalize on? I don't know. But Jared is going to draw his 2 cards here, and he is looking to beat this. If he's got Spreading Seas, that is going to be another really useful tool if you can put together something like that. The emblem is still active, yes. And that is an Elsbeth. Talk about pressure. That is a good way to do it. We're going to plus this up for 3 1/1s. The Pithing Needle shutting down Gideon of the Trials. But we're going to have 3 of these 1/1s, putting that there, and we're going to have to find 3 of these soldiers, I believe. Someone likely going through the token binder at the moment. Otherwise, Adam cracking in this map. He's going to find another piece of Tron, put it into play untapped, and I believe he's got another map to drop in. But if Jared is going to win, this is how it's going to happen. It's going to be by getting this going, but if Adam is able to continually hit land drops, there might not be time. Jared really needs a Spreading Seas. He needs some way to delay Adam, who was delayed for almost 5 turns. For 5 turns, Adam has been delayed, and he needs something. Jared needs just another turn, a way to stop this. Having the Detention Sphere, I might almost fire this off on the Expedition map just to stop it from being active. The problem is that actually Adam has the answer to it, but we are going to fire off a Ghost Quarter, so the Ghost Quarter is going to be nice. It gets a basic for Adam, but it also puts him another turn behind on getting Tron. It's going to be an attack for 3. We're going to plus up again. We're down to 17, but next turn we'll be attacking for 6 if all goes well. That's another 3 soldiers, and next turn we'll be able to attack Adam down to 11. We will have 9 damage, and we are looking at getting pretty close to a win, especially if, say, a Colonnade comes down for Jared next turn. You are not entirely wrong, UFO. You are not entirely wrong. So, Detention Sphere coming down on the Expedition map. Adam likely going to take that down with his Natural State. Oh no, he's going to pop the Relic for now. Okay, I dig it. I like it. Elsbeth is dead. Don't be like that, Doro. Just in the Underworld. That doesn't count. Draws into yet another land. Not the ones that he's looking for. Only 1 piece of Tron available. Could fire this off, crack for another piece of Tron, but playing that one down this turn means that that's not the game plan. Going for an Oblivion Stone. If Jared doesn't have a way to destroy this, Adam could untap with a land next turn, sweep all the tokens, sweep the Elsbeth, sweep the Gideon, take down the Detention Sphere, get back to an Expedition map, and be looking phenomenal. Jared needs a way to beat this, even if it's something like a Cryptic Command bouncing the Oblivion Stone, that would be enough. You've got one turn, you gotta make it happen. Plusing it up, another 3 tokens coming down for Jared. The Gideon not activating because of the Pithy Needle. 9 of these soldiers, as well as a Wall of Omens, which basically just drew a card. It's pointless on this board otherwise. The Detention Sphere. Isundum TV. Thank you so much for that follow button. I appreciate you hitting it. It's awesome having you. Welcome to the Geek Fortress stream. Natural State out on the battlefield. Doesn't have the land. And Adam is taking a shot for it. He's going to pop this star. What are we looking for mana-wise? A Rest in Peace. A Rest in Peace is a nice touch here. Against Jared, it's pretty good for shutting down the Snapcaster Mages, but on the current board, it just isn't going to be enough, and I think this is going to be the end of Game 2. We're going to be heading into Game 3. There's not quite enough pressure, so I guess Adam has one shot to draw an untapped land. That's it. Never mind. Never mind. It's done. We're going to ult the Elsbeth. All those creatures get +2/+2 in flying, and that is 27 damage. That's 27 through the air. Adam being at 11 means that he's dead. So, Game 3 coming on up. We probably don't need that Pithy Needle on the camera anymore, do we? Hello everybody, welcome to the final game between Tron and Blue White Control here at Geek Fortress. My name is TJ, it's wonderful to have you here. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that follow button and join us in the future. You also have the option of subscribing if you do choose to. If you have the means and the inclination, it means the world to us because we use it all to do cool things with this stream, like buying a new computer, which we are looking to do. Other than that, tomorrow at noon Pacific time, you can join us for the Geek Fortress 1K, the first ever, one of many. I believe we're investigating quarterly ones, but it is a 1K, $1,000 in prizes on the line. The players will be down in the field, but me, I'm not fighting for them. Why? Because I'd rather be streaming here, hanging out with all of you. Whew. My goodness. Why Rest in Peace? You play Relics? It's just another way to shut down the Snapcaster Mage if needed. Melvin, a 1K for you is the equivalent of me running, like, a half marathon. I mean, you're like 1.5 feet tall, right, Melvin? You actually might just be a phenomenal athlete. I guess I shouldn't assume. I shouldn't assume. It is modern. You're 3'2"? Oh, okay. I did not okay. Taller than I expected. You're light, though? That's true, actually. You do have a huge weight advantage because you don't have a whole lot of weight to carry. So, that's a good point. You might be able to beat me in a 1K. Let's do it sometime. Next time, when we meet, we're going to do a race. We've got a turn 1 sphere from Adam. Jared down to 19 early on off this fetch line, going for a Serum Visions. And we're going to see a draw, a little bit of scrying, looking for Spreading Seas right now. Some on the bottom, kicking it back. Adam untapping with the Sphere. Does have Part of Tron. I think we might be looking at another one. And is this an upkeep activation? No. Okay, I just missed the draw. So we do have another one coming down. The tower hitting the battlefield, and we are running light. The other land finds us the mana that we need to use the green mana from the bauble for a Sylvan Scrying, and Adam turns this one-lander into a turn 3 Tron. You know what? You got me, Namachili. I'll issue a public apology to Melvin. Melvin, you were amazing. Okay. Razorverge Thicket needs something to get rid of this Spreading Seas. Adam went from having Natural Tron to really not having it anymore. Does have one piece in hand, going for the green mana to go fire off an Ancient Stirrings. Finding another tower would be just as good. Expedition map, close. Expedition map is close. Yeah, Jared's pretty impressive with his seas. You know, if he was the ocean, he's got this whole kind of what's the word that I'm looking for? Someone help me out. Pirates of the Caribbean 3. What's the name of that goddess who's like all watery? Oh goodness. So we've got our map on the battlefield. We do have another piece of that Tron. Are we going to activate it now and fire it down? Callisto! Thank you. Or Calypso. Calypso. That's the one. Alright, Jared is like the Calypso of control. Calypso control. You heard it here, folks. First. You heard it here first, folks. There we go. Nailed it. That's right. Jared is doing his best Calypso impression, and it is making an impact. Luckily, Pirate Tribal not in the field tonight, otherwise they would likely be scooping to Calypso every single round, maybe even running some interference on the opponent's cross game. But never know. Ixalan with the Pirates coming down might happen. We've got the final piece of Tron. Adam's going to drop it down, and we are going to see what we can do. That is 9 mana available, just shy of that, but a Karn is going to be a house. Playing out the Karn does clear the way of any potential cryptic commands as well. An Ugin, another possibility. The Ugin having the ability to Lightning Bolt is pretty good. We've got a tower coming down. Ooh, okay, so actually what we might see is if Adam pops this tower for the Sanctum of Ugin, what he can do, is that the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, to where what he can do is play that, and then when he casts his Ulamog, go find another one, which is going to be pretty sweet. I'm pretty excited for Ixalan. I'm not sure if you're all aware of this, but a couple of things that I like. I like dinosaurs and I like pirates. That set's gonna have them both. It's a happy time for me. I'm excited about it. So Glimmer of Genius from Jared, getting 2 energy. Still not entirely sure if there's even anything that uses energy in this deck. Honestly, not sure. Ghost Quarter taking down one of these pieces of Tron. Adam does lose it. Had the ability, but I think was just being a little bit too patient. The nice part is that he can use this Expedition map to find that piece again. Well done, Melvin. Well done. Ixmart's the spot for Ixalan. You nailed it. You could also Ixalan Ho. Something like that. I don't know. Yours was better. Yours was better. I accept that. We're going to crack this map. We're going to find ourselves another one of these. We're going to untap, slap down that Tron, and see if we can win with an Ulamog. And that doesn't sound too shabby to me. Taking down the 2 sources of... Actually, I might take down... Leave with just a singular blue mana to stop future cryptic commands, but you can take down both of the white mana and potentially cut off of Path to Exiles, except they are still possibly there. What kind of energy payoff might he have? I have no idea. Dynavolt Tower is pretty unlikely. I don't know what it would be. The only thing that I could make Marvel doesn't make any sense. Couldn't say. Ulamog coming down. Do we have a cryptic command? Otherwise, we're going to take down the 2 white sources. If there's not a Path to Exile in hand right now, going to need one. Looks like we don't. Jared contemplating fire off a Glimmer of Genius. Going to be looking to draw both a white source and a Path to Exile. Otherwise, this is going to be a fast Game 3. Luckily, that's exactly what Adam needed. The clock is ticking. There is only less than a minute left in this match. Adam has got to come up with a win soon. I think if it's not, I think there is a Path to Exile in hand. There might be. And if there is, then this is going to be a lot harder for Adam to pull together. Jared might be considering keeping this Spreading Seas on top of the library. With only 2 lands, though, I'm just not sure if you need it. So that Ulamog does survive. We untap. We find ourselves a Cryptic Command. We have a Ghost Quarter available. That is a Plains. We do, I think, have a Path to Exile available. But we are going to see a Spreading Seas on that land. Path to Exile takes down the Ulamog before the attack trigger can happen. Jared on 3 lands. Adam does not search, apparently out of basics, which does not strike me as unusual. We draw into a Relic of Progenitus, not incredible on the board, really looking to just keep establishing threats. Throwing down a Karn seems pretty good. We're going to use this Spreading Seas to enable Tron again. BFox3, thank you so much for the subscribe. It's amazing having you here. Bees are cool as long as they're not hornets. Foxes are cool as long as they're not foxes. Overall, I'm excited about everything that you got going on in your name. Thank you for helping to support this stream and what we do. It means the world to me. I appreciate you. And let's see if we can put together a win with this fearsome Ugin. Frankly, probably. We're going to be down to 19. This is going to be lightning bolts per turn. The biggest thing is that you need to come up with something faster. Relic of Progenitus coming down. No spare mana. Might just activate it. Really just looking for a cantrip. Adam needs to win soon. My clock was apparently slightly at no. We are in turn 2. The odds of winning are almost 0. Adam mostly needs to actually just draw another Ulamog and be able to go for a win, but that is going to take down the opportunity to go for this. That was just a strip mine because no more basics in Adam's deck. He needs to somehow use this relic, draw both the Tron land needed and an Ulamog, nuke these lands including the white mana, and then go for a win that way, and it is not going to be easy. 2 lands for a Sylvan Scrying means that Adam is going to recomplete Tron, drop it down, and have access to 8 mana this turn. Could just be the Wormcoil Engine, because that one plus that is 2 instances of 9 damage, which means that if Adam can then draw into something like an Ugin, he could theoretically recast the Ugin after doing the first bolt and make a the final bit of damage. So Adam has got a slim chance of winning this one, and it involves drawing basically perfect. He needs to drop down the Wormcoil Engine this... Oh no, but it doesn't attack this turn. Nope, hold on, he can't. I don't think he can, actually. I was wrong. That's my bad. So he can't win. Jared can't really win. This is almost certainly a draw. What's up, Murph? How are you doing? Karn is coming down. At least Adam has got a ceremonial victory. But I think had so much potential on that one. And I think almost the game 2 went just a touch too long for Adam. Maybe an earlier concession might have benefited. But we are going to take down the white source here, floating white mana. And we're going to pop this relic just to sweep the field, draw a card. In response, we're going to go for that, taking a Path to Exile, and Path to Exile his own Snapcaster Mage. Interesting. So using the 3 mana, plays out Snapcaster, and then paths his own Snapcaster. I like that. That is a cool play. Plusing this up, and we're going to be down to 16 for Jared. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. So is it actually a beef ox? Because that also makes sense. I just thought it was a bee fox. But is it a beef ox? Alright, that is going to be the end of it. That is technically a draw, though I think Adam had the ceremonial victory. At least he had an Ugin and a Karn. Oh, well, I like beef and I like ox, so that also works. All those things are great. So that is going to be the end of this round, taking it right to the limit, maximizing on our total magic per minute. It is just about time to head on up to the booth and get ready to call it a night. Now, I know how much we hate that, because that does mean the stream is over, but what does that mean? That there is more tomorrow, beginning at noon. Tomorrow we will have more magic to show you. It'll be an extra special event just about 13.5 hours from now. We are going to be doing a modern 1K, probably 6 rounds plus a cut to top 8. It is going to be a long day of streaming. I'm going to be doing commentary for probably 8 or so hours. I'm excited. I hope that you're excited too. But let's head on up to the booth and talk some more. I will see you there. Hello and welcome to the Geek Fortress stream. My name is TJ, streaming out of Geek Fortress located in Snohomish, Washington, in that great Pacific Northwest. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that follow button. It is always a pleasure having you here. Remember, both the 5th of November and that extra special event tomorrow. Wait, how many hours from now? It is about 13 and a half hours from now. Should be great, should be fun, but another thing to note, this one is important. Next Saturday, I will not be here. Why won't I be here? That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking. Hi, I will be in Canada, up in Victoria with the Loading Ready Run crew, doing the pre-release. I am so excited. It is going to be amazing. I am hippity hyped to the max. I am so excited. This has been a goal of mine for some time to go and do that stream, so please jump in, show some support, because I am by far the least famous person in those 4 people. But that is okay. It's going to be so much fun, and I'm very, very excited. Uber Mikey, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're going to keep on doing it. To be honest, while my personality is positive, it is hugely supported by all the people in this chat. This stream doesn't exist without all of you. What we do here is not a singular effort. It is a group effort, a collaborative effort, and it is 100% built on a foundation that is from all of you. So thank you so very much for that.
That is the end of.
I kind of figured. Hi, Coleman.
Hi.
How are you today?
I went 3-2. I lost to Jund.
You earned that.
I really did. I did not play Akira in my sideboard, and ooh, that came back to bite me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Jesse. I'm so excited. Oh, are you covering next Saturday?
I can cover next Saturday.
Are you able to? I will
Yes.
be in Canada.
No real reason, just in Canada.
Well, I mean, like, there's a reason.
Also, hello everyone. I'm just off camera. You can't hear me. You can totally hear me. I'm very tired.
Oh, you are a talented individual. All right, everybody. It's time.
I know you probably meant that sincerely, but it sounded sarcastic.
I honestly haven't decided yet. All right, everybody, it's time to call it a night. Thank you so much. Remember, we're streaming a lot tomorrow. I've got to find a co-host for it since this guy backed out.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It happens. Life happens. I get
Yeah.
it. I mean, I slept through round 1 today. So we're going to go down, have some fun, but until then, stay amazing. Smash Evil, as always.
Yep, smash you.
And we're going to host on over to ZMagic94, an absolute champion, a member of the Rogues Gallery. Hit follow on his channel. And until then, I will see you tomorrow, noon Pacific time, for some modern action. Are
Yeah.
you hipped and hyped? Let me hear it. Are you hyped, Steven?
I'm hyped.
Yeah,
I'm
he's hyped.
All
right.
He is hype.
I'm hyped.
From all of us here at Geek Fortress, my name's TJ. That's Coleman and Steven off
Hi.
screen. From all of us. Whether it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Stay amazing, be amazing, you're amazing. Smash Evil. Good night.